Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tides of Death, the tale of our pirates and how they civilize the world or bring it under their knee, depending on your perspective. How are you all doing today?
Doing good, yeah.
Doing so great, Neal.
Great. Lovely to hear it all. Anyone have any fun stories over the last week that they want to share, or even a pirate
Yeah,
fact, maybe?
Oh,
Niagara Falls sucks. And
Oh.
all of the Canadians who act like their side is better are wrong. The Canadian side is just a tourist hell. It's a landscape. It's just like one big slab of fucking concrete with a million stores trying to sell you random fucking things. Fuck Niagara Falls and fuck him.
Did that before.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Duly noted.
I guess I'm canceling my holiday. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some water falls down.
Why would you spoil?
I mean-
Fucking hell.
Now there's no point in going anymore,
Now
Neal.
there's no point.
Good
There's no
job.
point in going. Jesus.
So, where last we left our party, there was a pair of werebears, there was a village, there was a monastery that got struck by lightning. What else was there?
Apparently a
Uh,
fucking mountain fell down and none of us knew. So
What?
I
know.
I noticed.
That was
I
my
just
reaction
getting
as well.
tired.
yeah, apparently a mountain fell down and none of us just understood that. I was told after the fact and I called them dumb, I'm pretty sure, and said they were lying, but it seems to be true.
Which mountain fell down?
Koibu said in the center, it was like island, lake, in a circle, and then island.
Yeah.
And he said the mountain in the center slid down, and he said that some change has been enacted. I think is what he said.
Yeah, I mean,
and I had no
rocks
idea.
fell. No one was paying attention. No one cared.
We had pirate stuff to do.
Yeah.
Out of
Well, I
character,
can.
okay.
Maybe we should check it out. Well, we've already left, haven't we?
You've
I
left.
think we
We've
already
already
left, yeah.
gotten experience. You're gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
It's fine.
All
Did,
right.
Put it in Patreon, ask the
some
question
other
what was
stuff
there.
did happen. John is now able to sense living souls, I think, but only in the darkness,
Hmm.
which is quite exciting.
That's not a
Um,
bad thing, right?
No, I think it's a pretty good thing for a rogue. Yeah.
We didn't talk about it in the last episode, but I wonder if it works in combination with the darkness spell.
I think it might.
Oh,
Yeah.
It should.
that's kind of sick, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even if it lets you every other round get a sneak attack, because like you position yourself for it,
It's
that's
so
like
much
a
better, yeah.
huge damage increase for you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
But if the
Uh,
fight's in darkness, the rest of you are going to struggle. Right.
True.
Well,
Not as much as your mom struggled.
What the fuck?
What? Excuse me? You can't say
Jesus
that to me. Who do you think you are?
Christ, Moot.
wildly
Why was she
appropriate.
struggling?
Listen, keep my mother's name out of your goddamn
Your
mouth.
fucking mouth, yeah.
So, where did our pirates go? Because we know you've gone back to one of your two bases to rest and relax. But which one? Did you go to Sulfur Island, or did you head all the way back to Flotsam?
I feel like we probably would head back to Flotsam. Norm would want to check on his apprentice. He has to learn new spells. So-
Maybe
Okay.
we should check in on the island. It could be worth
Could we
making
have
sure
checked
they're
in
all
on the
doing
island on the
okay.
way?
Yeah, we can do a little bit of both. If you go back to Flotsam Island, to Sulfur Island, you'll hear that everything is well underway. Everything's going more or less appropriately. A few initial settlers have died, some due to monsters, and one new settler has been acquired, a two-headed ogre named Den and Ted.
Mm.
You
Oh,
will
I get
also...
it. Good one, Koibu.
Yep.
It's actually Moon's well doing.
You will also find on Sulfur Island that a mysterious magical cave
Well,
filled with
hang on.
impenetrable magical darkness has been located on the island.
Maybe Kalfu could speak to Sale about it, because I feel like that's what he'd like to do.
Sure. So you've come to Sulfur Island. Maybe you've even visited your home and rested because you've already got XP. I want to give us some flexibility in
That's
our
fine, yeah.
direction, so we'll just kind of be loose with the time here. You'll arrive on Sulfur Island, and Kalfu will be, as you're
Yeah,
chatting
I
with
think-
everyone, Kalfu will come find
Sorry.
Sail.
Who's Kalfu?
Kalfu is, I think his name was James. He was
Oh.
he was one of the guards on the island where we killed Father Owen. But ever since you baptized him, he's changed his name to Kalfu, and now has
Gotcha.
a little
Okay, yeah,
skull
I
painted on his face.
was yeah, I know who he is now. I remember we made him kill a guy, right?
We made him kill a guy. Yeah,
Yep.
one of his ex-colleagues, I believe, actually. So I think what will happen is when we, the main party, get to the shore, Kalfu will be sort of waiting at the edge of the pier or whatever, waiting for sail. And then once sail walks up,
Yeah, I'll
he'll,
walk. Say,
sail.
Kalfu.
He'll sort of like bow to you, say, "This is perfect timing that you've got here, Sail. Please, can I have a word in private?" He says, looking to the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I'll look to the rest of the crew and say I'll catch up with you guys in a few minutes, and I'll follow Kalfu.
So he will lead you to his little shack that he's living in, which is just one of the old houses from the town that he's kind of repaired up. And you'll go
How
in
good
there.
of a job have you done? Just like
Yeah, I mean it's livable. There's some shelves on the walls that he's been collecting the skulls of the skeletons that he's been killing in the town. So there's maybe like 15 skulls on like little shelves in his room, and
with
there's only
the
one.
oath guard mark on them.
Yeah. And there's one chair, and so he'll like, "Go on, Sel. You sit down and offer you the chair, and he'll take a seat on his bed."
Thank you, Kalfu. What's so urgent?
Well, Sale, it's a great blessing. Ever since you left me here, I've been praying to the Drowned One in hopes for a message or some sort of direction whilst I've been performing my duties here, killing the skeletons. And one night when I was imbibing my special tea that I brew from the herbs in this land, I had a strange dream. It was odd. I could feel the presence of the Drowned One in the background, but all I could see was a small hill in the forest. I knew it was somewhere on this island, but I didn't know where exactly. I dismissed it at first, but every night when I dreamt, I had the same dream, the same hill, like it was calling me, like I could feel him calling me towards it. I searched long and hard across the island, but couldn't find it until I ran into the Dented here. I don't know if you've seen him. A friend of mine I met. He's an ogre, but he's got a good heart.
An ogre?
He knows.
Are they not
Yeah.
violent, vicious creatures incapable of civilization?
Well, he's definitely violent, but more friendly than most. Perhaps maybe a bit more intelligent, or maybe just had a good time with humans in the past. But either way, he saved me from a skeletal knight that attacked me in the forest, and I've been helping him forage food, and we've been talking a bit, and he actually recognized the spot and led me to it. And I found it, and there's a cave with a hidden switch and some sort of riddle that only shows. Sorry, Neil, was it in the moonlight it showed? Only at nighttime did the riddle show up on the wall. I wasn't smart enough to work it out myself, but I know that he wants me to show it to you.
This is very interesting. Sounds like you've had quite the adventure here. When I was growing up, I was told ogres eat people, but I guess you found the one nice ogre. 2 heads, you say? Is that normal?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I've never seen one with 2 heads before. Maybe the second head maybe 2 brains. Maybe that makes it a bit smarter. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're twice as smart as a normal ogre. Thank you for telling me this. Do you have a map to this cave, or could you direct me if I were to get my party, or should I go alone?
I'm not sure. I think maybe you want to bring the wizard. I'm not sure if maybe he'll have a better chance with the riddle. I can take you there when you want to go. But you have all the time. You do what you need to do. I'm sure you're very busy here. I'll be here in the town. So when you need me, you let me know. Excellent.
Thank you, Kalfu. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect you to be this useful. You have surprised me, and
thank you.
You have my gratitude.
It means a lot to me. Sail, before you leave, could you bless me?
I'll let out a big sigh. I've tapped my magic pretty heavily in the last few days, but you have earned it, and I will bless it.
I'll go down on one knee and drop my head.
May you die at the sea, so you can return to him, and then I'll cast bless on him.
Sweet. Thank you, Sale. Thank you. And I'll like grab my axes from the side of the wall, and I'll say, "Well, I have work to do anyway. Have fun." And I'll head out into the town and look for skeletons or whatever.
As you're leaving, I'll say, "Nice collection of heads, by the way. I've got a few."
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and then Kalfu will go up.
Yeah, and then I'll make my way back towards the guys, keeping my eye out, looking for this two-headed ogre. I'm curious about that guy.
I think you got a 50% chance of seeing this ogre. If they're in town, you can see them, essentially. Let's pull out the dice. Unfortunately, Den Ted is not around today, or Den and Ted are not around today. They must be out in the woods or somewhere else. Out of sight.
He's finding that's where all the missing people have gone. He's eating them.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's John Brophy here. So I think John, when he gets off the ship, will sort of. He probably knows this is the first time everyone's gonna be seeing him like this. So he walks confidently forward and looks for Brophy.
Scars shown, or do you have your
No,
scarf
I've got my
around
little
your-
scarf thing on. Yeah.
Yep, people make way for the
Normal.
captain.
Cast cantrip and shoot some fireworks up in the air.
The town is
Brophy.
alerted to your presence if they weren't already by the boat's arrival, and Brophy comes out of the castle, meeting you partway with what's his name as his bodyguard.
Oh,
Euclid.
Euclid, thank you. I don't know why it's such a hard name. Then, John
Brophy,
Winters.
how's it going? Things well?
Things are well. The locals have taken to us. Some of them have talked about coming down and moving back into the city. Apparently their
Fantastic.
princess is very ill or near to death, or their words are sometimes cagey, but I don't think she's doing too terribly well.
Well, perhaps if their princess bites the bullet, they'll look to us for leadership. Might be a boon.
He knows what a bullet is because bullets are the ammunition you use in slings when you throw them.
That's right, I wouldn't have said it otherwise. Perfectly
Just a-
reasonable thing to say.
Yeah, just preempting the people in chat. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I thought perhaps we might rest in the keep for a couple of days, if that's fine by you and Euclid here,
You're in
Maybe you can-
charge.
as it is. Town's looking safe.
keep the pickaxe safe, Brophy.
Pickaxe?
Yes.
Yes. All the tools and equipment are accounted for. There
That's
has
good.
been a new denizen. I don't know if you've heard or seen it walking around. Seems to be safe, though. Two-headed ogre.
What?
I have not.
Jake shrugs his shoulders. It's a two-headed ogre. Apparently it's friendly. I don't know.
It's been walking around the town.
Yep.
Is it helping out?
Yep.
Well-
I really couldn't tell you more. It's,
Well, if you're fine with it, Brophy, then I suppose it's fine.
some of the people that keep the skeletons at bay have been working closely with it. Him, her, I think one head is male and one is female. It's very complicated, far beyond my understandings. I just,
Very strange.
yeah.
You
Well-
just took the books.
Let me show you to our quarters. And he will
Yeah.
lead the party into the castle. Where
We
you
will
can
go with him.
Come and rest comfortably.
This is nice. Nice warmer in here than the last time I was here. Got some hearts going.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't say that because it doesn't feel warmer. It feels cold.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think I just go and set myself up in a room.
Brophy, has there been any
Why
new developments with the island? Anybody coming to trade yet? Or just
There
us?
have been a few boats that have stopped offshore for a little while, I think taking a look from a distance and moved on. And a few vessels that have come by for trade. Some of these people that we've established here with us are more pirate than merchant. So there have been some difficulties making everything streamlined, have to remind everyone not to murder and steal, but instead trade equitably. Some folks have taken to it, some folks not so much. But I think it's a good start. And he will take you after showing you to your rooms. He will take you to like the main office that he's taken for himself, and he will show you the slight profits that have been given, and asks if he should just hold on to them here, or if you want to be paid dividends immediately.
How
Probably
much is it?
reinvest it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much is
so
it?
far there is 100 gold in profits.
Yeah, let's just let them keep that.
That is not shit. To us.
Small gains, small gains.
Do you
Reinvest
need,
it in the town.
Will do.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
cool.
Yeah, do you need anything? Do you have a shopping list?
Rope. We could use more rope.
Okay.
And some more hammers and some more nails. Actually, just raw iron, raw resources. Would be
Yeah, but
good.
you give me a list.
He'll put together a list for you.
Okay.
And then, yeah, he'll have some drinks brought out. They've been making some sort of fruit wine with the things they can pick on the island. And he'll settle in next to a small hearth, middle of the castle, window that looks out over the sea. And look to the four of you, nervously run
How's
his
the fruit
fingers.
wine, Neal? Is it banging?
I need you to roll me a grub skill check.
Wait, can Archie even taste at this point?
Oh,
Is,
Oh,
only, is, it only,
true.
is it only me that's lost taste, or?
You have lost taste. They can still taste. It's just sort of numb, and the flavors are a little diminished. Everything's just a little bit weak. It's kind of like you got COVID.
Is it D20 plus my grub score?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
You know, the wine's not bad. The
Hell yeah.
sweetness of it somehow pierces through that like numbed flavor that you've got, so you can actually taste this wine, unlike some of that other stuff you've been drinking, and makes you feel warm and flushed. You know, like maybe they let it sit a little too long. Maybe this wine's a little bit too strong. But John Brophy will sit down with the rest of you and look to the party. Is there anything I can do for you, captains, soldiers, sailors, priests?
Worried about a dungeon?
Yes. Kalfu and the ogre found it.
Have you
Back
been
there.
inside?
No, it's magically
one's-
darkened. We tried
Which
to
one's
send
Kalfu
someone
again?
in. The one with the face stuff.
Oh, James.
Yeah, yes. The former White Princess soldier turned pirate.
Strange chap.
I
I think
like
he's
it.
a true believer.
Well,
You
that's
like
good.
him,
That's
Sale?
what we need.
Sorry?
And
you like him, Sale?
Yeah, he seems useful. He's done some helpful things.
He is useful.
That's true, I suppose.
That
Why
is the best
hasn't
thing to judge a crewmate on?
Why haven't they explored this cave themselves?
Magically darkened. You step up to it with a torch and plunge the torch through the threshold, and no light emanates from within. I figure it's got magical darkness, it's got magical traps, or something like that. So I've asked someone to keep everyone out. I've posted a guard at the door to make sure no one wanders in and gets themselves hurt.
Oh, interesting.
where's Bobby? See the guard at the door?
No.
Where's my boy?
Unfortunately, Bobby is in a bit of a coma right now. Someone tried to play a prank on him, and some rocks hit him on the head, and he was knocked out yesterday. Presently unconscious. Maybe coma's too strong of a word, but he's getting some bed rest with a big bump on his skull.
Who played the prank on him?
John Brophy looks downcast. I'm ultimately responsible for it. It was my
Don't
idea.
worry about it, John. You know,
Put a
you're just
bucket of
keeping up
rocks
what we.
Above
It's
the
just
door,
what we would have done.
bedroom. Sorry.
Maybe do mud next time or something. At least while manpower's short.
I thought it would be fun. No.
I'm sure it was
Put
hilarious.
some eggs in there too.
No, that makes sense. Well, anyway,
Bobby.
we were just here to check in on our way back back to the base or from the base, whichever way that way it works. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a dungeon to explore, I suppose I could put my skills to the test and look for some traps.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
Do we know if there's anything useful in there?
No. But only
It's
the
probably-
entrance only appeared by the light of the moon, so magically hidden, and then within that, magically darkened.
How did they find it?
You'd have to talk to Kalfu and the ogre. Something about fevered visions of hallucinogenic wine and round
I'll
one.
jump in right now and I'll explain the rough story of what happened. But I'll also like a point to say, damn it, I forgot to ask him for some of that tea he made.
Oh, well, a sign from your god, Sale. That sounds interesting. A sign from our god, I say, looking towards you.
This is the first time John has acknowledged Rohi as his god, so I'll take a moment here and be like, we got him, boys.
Yeah.
Are there any fireflies on this island? Or anything that is magically light? Like normal light? Anything that
Yes.
light up? Oh.
There are
Send out,
fireflies that you can catch at night.
Send out 4 of your men tonight. Catch me some fireflies.
Well, I can magically create light multiple ways as well. We can test those.
Yeah, I just want to have them. Haven't had them yet.
Someone will be sent to catch fireflies. Not a problem. You'll have them by tomorrow.
I want 100.
Oh. Are there any like... No, this is the dumb idea. I was going to say, are there any like valuable plants that grow here, wild on this island, that might not grow anywhere else? It was like, we should start like collecting like good herbs. Like the ones
Some
that heal.
hallucinogenic tea.
Hell yeah.
That is
But
definitely
that's
a
more
thing
of like
that
an
can
admin
be
thing.
investigated. At that task now, and next time you come back, we'll see what valuable plants have been found.
I feel like foraging is going to be a good basis for the economy.
Well, listen, we're checking in here. We're on our way to spread terror across the rim, as is our purview. Let's not waste too much time. Let's go and check out this cave tomorrow. And if there's something there, we can work to it. If not, we can leave. Not paying you all just to sit around.
You're not paying us at all.
Not yet, perhaps.
Does you dying change the contract, Captain? Are you legally a person? Can you hold position?
Sale, it changes it. I'm not even sure that I can die now at this point, so you might be in that contract for a lot longer than you expected.
I'll be careful to test the limits of your mortality, Captain.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully we don't run into any more trollaroos. That's the name I came up with that thing. Did you see it had a pouch? I got a pretty good look at it.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. I think one of those littler ones climbed in there and then jumped out. It was gross as hell. Reminded me of like one of those wallaby type creatures I saw before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does John have gloves?
Yeah.
Do you wear gloves? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a spell called Repel Water. On our way back, we would have tested this. Can he touch salt water, or was it? Is that
Yes,
hurt him
the
too?
the seawater seems to be fine.
Okay. Holy water.
Does fresh water outside of the Holy Island? Is that
It's
a problem?
fine. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you know,
so it was
the
just
water you
as-
carry on your boat is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he thirst?
Oh,
No.
he's thirsty.
No.
Not in the normal meaning.
No, not really.
If we put his head underwater, can he not need to breathe?
Well, let's.
I guess I haven't tried that yet.
I guess
Maybe
yeah.
that's one of those things we should try
Yeah.
rather than just yes and no's.
Sadly, my fine traps is not the best. So we might require some alternative means of finding traps.
Oh, I do have spider climb.
I think I can boost you with moment. So
Oh, yeah. What's
and
that
that-
give me?
it's like a
15.
20% boost or something
Okay. Hey, 25%.
on a
it's not bad.
D100.
I only have 5% in fine traps, so.
Oh my god, why is it so?
Yeah,
Does
well-
your decks get crushed or something?
No, it's not because of Dex. It's just because I haven't really put points in it. Because of all the other ones, it seemed more useful, like Hide in Shadows, Move Silently, Climb Walls,
Yep.
Open Locks. Seemed like they might be more useful.
What is bitumen? I need a
Bitumen.
drop
Asphalt.
of bitumen. Bitumen. Oh, okay.
It's, yeah, like sort
It's
of like
like,
a natural
oil.
tar.
Right. Can I have that or no?
There's probably not any of that lying around.
Okay.
That's one of those things you need to get from a spell component shop. You might have to raid like an island that has a spell component shop or
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
a mage place for these.
Okay. I'm ready in the morning if you guys are.
I think natural bitumen is called pitch, and it was used to make like little oil lamps and torches.
Mm-hmm.
And bonus fact, it's the longest ever running experiment involves pitch because it's actually a liquid.
With
They do the drop, yeah.
the drop.
How much HP are we recovering?
You're a bit full.
Been a while. We went to the
yeah.
base and stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
We went to the base and everything. We're full. Yeah, we got
Everyone's at
experience
full.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did.
And I could be firing off accelerate healings and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I took Dimension Door. No material components. I get 2 a day, and it only requires verbal.
How much weight can you bring with you?
I think it's 75 pounds per level.
Above a certain point, or just 75 pounds per level?
Okay, sorry. I'll read. You guys keep going.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I think we just get rest tonight and then
Yeah.
sail in the morning. You can find James and get him to take us to this cave.
Sick.
500 pounds of non-living matter, or half that of living matter.
250 pounds. So you could maybe take
Maybe take one person.
me or Sail, probably not Archie.
I could reduce Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I'm actually gonna take reduce instead of enlarge tomorrow. What's up?
Yep. Whatever you have on your sheets are fine.
Do
then I
you-
will pass on effect.
can you take like one enlarge, one reduce, or do you have to take all enlarge, all reduce?
I could take one of each, but I'm taking 3 magic missile, 1 detect magic, 1 enlarge, or 1 reduce.
All right,
Would you like me to get rid of a detect magic and you take it instead?
I think we need at least 1 or 2 detect magics.
I can bring 2 detect magics.
Yeah.
I will take 2. I'll take 1 enlarge, 1 reduce. Then.
Cool.
I'm just gonna look through my spells real quick.
Cool.
Oh, I have no. I have unfailing endurance, which gives people +4 strength to their strength checks, which is pretty
Yeah,
damn
and it
good
lasts
for Archie.
days.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah.
It's a good ass spell.
Oh shit! I'm actually just gonna cast that on Archie right now, and he's gonna have that for a week.
Which one is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Unfailing
Unfailing
endurance.
Oh, perfect.
Wait, that does what?
You don't
Go
get
all
tired
night,
anymore.
baby.
You don't get tired
Hell
anymore.
yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't help your like. If you need to move a rock, it doesn't help your strength checks there. But if you need to move a rock that you can already move a long ways, that'll be.
Yeah.
For sustained exertion, I guess.
Yeah.
It's really good on a horse or a
Mhm.
carriage or something like that.
Or human rowers. We do have ghost rowers though.
It's also 1 creature per level, so you can cast it on the whole party
Oh,
rather
that
than
gives
just
all
Archie.
unfailing endurance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well, I would cast
Have you been doing 1 casting?
Yeah,
per
but
brother?
I usually do it when we're home, so it
Yeah,
doesn't really
yeah.
matter.
Dude, like a single mage on a building project would accelerate things so much.
Just that spell alone would do so much. What level 4 spells have you got, Sale? Have you got some highlights for us? Or do you want to keep it a secret? You can keep it a secret.
The coolest ones are like modify memory, divination, and sticks to snakes, which for a combat one.
Oh, Sticks to Snakes is a good spell, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get someone to gather me up like a bundle, just enough sticks that I can just like throw it and cast it at the same time.
Kalfu will do that for you. Absolutely. It literally does what it sounds like, by the way, chat. You just throw some sticks on the ground and they become snakes.
And you could do the reverse. You could turn snakes into sticks.
That's a very specific use case.
But really
we're going into
useful
a
if we do
dungeon.
need it.
Yeah, Indiana Jones developed that one.
Right. Well, the night passes uneventfully. By morning time, you've got a ceramic jar filled with fireflies that you can uncork and pop out.
How many?
Any other things? 30?
No one will make fun of them. That's not enough. He takes it. He throws him a 1 gold piece and lets him know that he was going to pay them 100 gold, but instead they only.
They are despondent. They thought this was some bullshit job that they'd been sent on just to, make them do nothing of value. They didn't realize the importance of the task. They'll do better next time. And our party can meet up with Kalfu and Dented, the two-headed ogre, who is in town this morning, and will stumble on over as everyone is gathering to head over to the cave.
I sort of see them coming, and I'll say to Dented, "Okay, look, Dented, you can't don't freak these people out. They're dangerous. They'll kill you if you mess with them. So just be good.
How dangerous?
Like, a lot more dangerous than that skeleton that almost killed me. The Sale, he's that one." I say, point to them. He speaks directly to the gods. He can cast wondrous magics. And that one there, Nilrim, his name is. He's a sadist, a murderer, kill a man as soon as look at him. Blast fireballs from his hands and lightning from his feet.
Their eyes get wide.
This one here, his name's Archie. He can punch a man's head clean off. And then over there,
point at John.
That's the captain.
What about him? He doesn't look very strong.
Yeah, no, he's not, but the others listen to him, so. Alright, here they come. I stand up straight. In fact, no, I get on one knee and bow down.
Dental'll just stand there with her shield and his stick.
I will say, rise, Kalfu. You have earned
Sail.
your right to stand.
Thank you. Are we to go to the cave?
I'll glance at my party members. Today is the day that we investigate this phenomena.
Then follow me. And Kalfu will lead silently through the forest to the entrance of the cave while the rest of us follow.
Bit of a hike, but you guys will eventually get there. You'll see a very small structure has been erected outside to just provide a little bit of shade and cover, and a place to store food and water. The person who's on watch. It is midday, so they are quite awake. The watchman is a woman. She's leaning on a spear. She sees a lot of you approach and will happily come out to say hello before doing a quick stiff bow of acknowledgement to the leadership of the pirates.
Yes. At ease, soldier.
Captain Winters, no one has entered the cave. I assume you're here to see it?
Yes, we'll be investigating. Thanks. You can just remain on guard.
She'll take her position again.
Are any of them glaring at his neck, or?
I've got a scarf on.
Oh, you have a scarf on. Okay.
Yeah. So I will look at the cave.
You brought light sail? Because I sure as fuck did this time.
When we were talking about it yesterday, I had totally meant to bring light. When I woke up this morning, I actually forgot.
That's okay, because you would have remembered, right?
No, I before we left, I purged my light spell and replaced it with detect magic, as we discussed, and it just completely slipped my mind. We can.
Slipped your mind that we're gonna need light in the cave?
Wasn't that the one thing we knew about this place? Was that it was magically dark?
Literally the only thing.
I'll fall to my knees and say, Rohi, help me out here. Can I switch a spell, please?
Bro, he does not answer your prayers.
In this moment of embarrassment, Kalfu will look away and pretend to be doing something else so as not to embarrass Sale.
Appreciate the honesty.
We've had a busy couple of days. I've been a little forgetful. My apologies. My apologies.
Fine.
I'll fix it in the morning.
We'll spend another day here on this godforsaken island.
I will remind you that we spent 3 weeks tromping around Flotsam Island looking for Ferris's home, okay? You can forgive me a day.
Those were the
That's
days.
true.
Those were the
Life was
days.
simpler back then.
That was a good 3 weeks.
It was. You remember that? We only just
I
met.
do.
We found it. By the way, Nilrim has the wand, and he has it in his extra dimensional pocket. So his assuming is it has a beacon spell on it. But that doesn't matter. It's in the extra dimensional space, and when he needs it, he'll pull it out. Potato.
Potato.
And I always have deep pockets as like a spell slot, so
Right.
it's always going.
Yeah, it's every day you have to cast it, essentially.
Yeah.
John will whisper to Archie and say, just keep an eye on the ogre, Archie. If that thing kicks off, you're the only one who can deal with it.
Don't worry. He might have 2 heads, but got 2 fists, right?
One for each, yeah.
Yep.
You see, it broke 2 jaws with 1 punch.
Exactly.
Did Kalfu and the ogre get any XP for finding this or no?
We'll deal with that next time we come back.
That's
to
fine.
them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we might just level them up in between things because we play them so infrequently. I don't know. Okay.
Cool.
Well, my pirate friends, John says, seems we've wasted our time here. Perhaps we should go back and find other things to busy ourselves with until tomorrow's sail.
You want to go see the princess? She should be on the way. Shouldn't be a big
That's
deal.
a multi-day journey.
Yeah, that's a bit of a way
you gotta
away.
go like all the way over here, and then up on this thing, and then back over here, and then up the fucking tower. You can totally do it, but it's like
Yeah, it's a
3 days there,
bitch.
3 days back.
It would be good to have some sort of pulley system, like a lift, so we could go up the side of the cliff.
It would be a good idea.
Well,
I think that's
Brophy-
eventually in the plans.
Brophy said he needed rope.
Maybe that's what he needs it for.
Brophy is a genius.
We put him in charge for a reason, Elrim.
Maybe he should have been my apprentice.
Yeah,
knows?
perhaps. He was wasted back there in the dungeons. I'm glad we're finding use for these people now. It was getting
Everyone has a
too
use for him.
hectic back at the base, you know.
And Wiley was. He's getting
There's
weird.
too many.
You know,
too
he's
many
dressing
people
Bobby
running
up.
around.
Oh,
Was he?
Yeah.
guys,
I swear.
I just had
You
an
have a
idea.
light stone?
Did we bring the anti-magic shield with us? Couldn't that just dispel the magical darkness?
It could, but I don't know if we brought it. I don't know where it would be.
Did we lose it? It's in the
No,
base.
it's back at the base right now. The question is if we would have brought it from the base.
We're going to fuck shit up, so we probably are on a small boat, which means we probably don't have the shield with us.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would dispel all our armors in the boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't want that. Okay. Can we just wait a night here?
The next day, you're back
Thank
at the cave entrance. Please change out your spells
Yeah.
as needed.
yeah.
I'm gonna get rid of an enlarge. I'll just take a reduce, and I'll also take light.
I brought a light and a fairy fire.
Okay. I'll try mine first. It'll last 3 hours per level, so 7 times 3, 21 hours.
Are you doing it on a stone or on?
It's gonna be on little fireflies that I believe will follow me around.
Oh.
I haven't read this very well.
Um,
A small swarm of creatures that shed soft light in the area.
That's cool. And do they follow you?
yes, this is the conjuration spell. I think there must have been a bug in the code that put it in as all abjuration. But this is
Abjuration?
the,
Oh.
the
I see.
conjuration spell that
Can I
will literally
cast
just
that?
conjure fireflies that follow your command. Yes, you can cast it.
Cool.
All the things.
Yeah, do they dispel the magical darkness as we go through or no?
They do produce magical light, which allows you to see within the confines of this cave.
So I assume I don't see any life coming from within the cave.
So
I mean, it's
you come to the wall here where the entrance is, dark inside, and Nilrim will pull out some crushed, dead fireflies and toss them into the air while casting the light spell, creating a swarm, 10-foot cube essentially of light, of just fireflies buzzing around, and you can direct them at will.
Yeah, just with like a gesture or a look. I'm
that's
actually
kinda
going
badass.
to decrease the duration by half to double the volume of light. So it will now last I don't know, like 10.5 hours.
Yeah, that's long
And we'll
enough. isn't
light a
20 foot.
20 by
cube.
10 by 10 cube.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
The hallway that stretches out before you is 5 feet wide, maybe 8 feet tall, and about 20 feet deep. And at the far back end, 20 feet from you, is a doorway with sort of like a lever on the side of the door and a handle on the doorknob, or where the doorknob would be.
John will walk outside the cave, right, and go and grab the girl that was on guard, and say, "You, I need you. Get in here."
He salutes and steps up to the cave.
And dies.
I point down the corridor to the door and the lever.
Real quick, Captain, wasn't there a riddle? Did we happen to catch the? Did someone say that?
I
We
think
never heard about
Kalfu
a
said
riddle.
that Kalfu said there was a riddle, but it seems that maybe they solved it whilst we weren't here.
Oh,
Because the riddle was like, it was just like a stone wall. We didn't know how to open it, but presumably someone's worked it out off screen.
Well done, Kalfu. Once again, you astounded us with your brilliance.
Thank
I
you, Lord
thought-
Norum.
I thought we were coming to solve the riddle.
Yes, it slipped my mind, but I think one of the ladies in town had
Bobby.
realized what it was.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just glad. So, yeah, go ahead and send this lady to her death. I mean, to pull the lever.
After you,
Go ahead.
John says to the girl.
Did we not solve that riddle?
We didn't.
Bobby figured it out what the thing was, but we never got the book to do the king's name, if that makes sense. But he had said that it was probably just the Lord's name.
Right,
Which
right. And
seems
then there
fine,
were
yeah.
the books within the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it just needed
castle.
research done.
Yeah. So someone did the research, no problem. Perfect. Okay.
No.
Yeah. The girl looks down the hallway and looks to you. Isn't it dangerous?
Click the
Magically
lever, I will
hidden?
kill you.
It's
She
a lever.
walks down the hallway, gets about 6 feet in, and disappears into the floor with a scream and a crunch. Makes no more noise.
So it is
Did she
trapped then.
actually fucking die?
Yes, she's dead.
It is true.
Oh
I'll send
my
my bugs
God.
forward a little bit. To be fair, I would have sent them with her because she needs to go down there to the lever.
I mean, yeah,
but
the
that's fine.
bugs needed to light the whole hallway, so
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah.
So we'll walk forward a little bit, like slowly. Anybody have a spear?
Need a long stick.
We need a long stick.
Kalfu, go and find us a long stick. Of course,
does
Captain.
Kalfu-
I've got one right here, actually. He hands him the long stick that he carries. Having two characters is great.
It is, yeah. You need a magic item that's just like the stick of trap detection.
An extending stick you need.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I'll go and get. As a rogue, I understand the importance of a long stick when exploring a dungeon, and I'll find a suitable heft, a stick with suitable heft that I will use. Where the gal fell, is there now just a gap?
Nope, it is solid floor.
Okay, so I will now, knowing where she fell, I will test the mechanism we're working with here and work out how it happened.
Yeah, well, you tap along the floor, then at some point your stick just like dips through what appears to be solid floor, but is actually maybe an illusion or some sort of like phantasmal wall or
God.
something.
If only Imric was here, I disbelieve.
By the gods.
I mean, it's a floor.
I fell.
It's a real floor.
Yeah.
There's, yeah.
It looks real to me.
Oh. It's a real ass floor. Got it.
I see how big the gap is with the stick.
Yeah, you can walk up to it. It's about 5 feet by 5 feet, so it covers the entire width of the hallway. And it's 5 feet long, which is,
Okay.
a precarious jump. Actually, for a normal person to clear a 5-foot gap, a bit sketch, especially when you can't see exactly where your last foot is supposed to land.
Yeah.
And there could be something on the other side as well.
Perhaps we could get a plank, Captain, and lay it across the gap of some kind.
Should be able to find one inside the town, rip it off one of those broken houses.
Yep, I'll
Shouldn't
send a
be an
couple
issue.
people.
Yeah.
Send a couple people to go grab that.
Kalfu and Dented can go back and grab you a big plank, and they'll be back
Yeah.
many hours later. after the
We
sun
also
sets.
want Little Bobby. Well, no, not Little Bobby. Bring us.
Hang on, no, we don't want. We're gonna run out of NPCs if we keep doing this. Let's just play it easy. It was
Look at
difficult
all these
to
recruit
all
more.
this.
Bring him in.
No, we need to. We don't want them to think that we don't value their lives.
Okay, we do. We do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Even though we don't.
This is what prisoners are for.
Yeah, they're not prisoners though. These guys, they're free.
Oh yeah, we did bring prisoners back. They're just gonna stay with what's his name, and he'll indoctrinate them.
They're in the base for now,
Yeah,
under
they're in the
Wiley's care, until they can be indoctrinated. Okay, so we'll place the plank over the hole.
Mm-hmm. So yes, so by the time they get back, the sun has set, and no light now shines in the cave. The magical light from the light spell will cancel the magical darkness, so the prevailing lighting conditions remain. But now that the sun has set, the prevailing lighting conditions are dark. Someone have a torch, or a lantern, or non-magical light.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I think I do have a torch. Hang on.
London.
I have a tinder box. Oh God, do I have? I actually don't. I do have 100 feet of rope though that I could have given to. Okay, I don't have a torch, but I assume we can go and get a torch.
They can have brought back a torch as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Who's gonna go in first? Who's walking down the hallway?
Well,
No one
I've
but
always
Kalfu.
wanted to walk the plank, Captain, and I'll volunteer to go first.
you are hearty of body, so you go first. I'll put the plank down and take a step back.
John lights the torch, puts the plank over the boards. The fireflies are still buzzing about. Sail. Torch in one hand, weapon in the other. Holy, what do you have in your other hand?
I think I would have my hand free because I'm walking a plank, so I would want to be able to grab things and.
Yeah. You can cross the plank over this 5-foot gap. Ground on the other side seems solid. There's the door. It's only like 8 feet away. There's a lever right next to it and a handle.
John, maybe you should check for traps.
I look at him, and I actually have the first smile in a few weeks as I look for traps now.
What is your chance? Because I roll in secret.
It's 5%.
Does I was gonna say, does moment work on that? I assume I could cast.
It would
Moment.
it would work, yeah. But I'm not sure. Maybe now's not the best time to. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then I won't do it. I won't cast it.
Yeah, I think we could maybe find a better time for that. Okay,
I don't
so
think moment will help you search for traps because there's not a moment at which you're more likely to detect a trap, right? Like the timing
that's
on
not
searching for a
necessarily
trap
true.
is not particularly important.
You
Well,
might
what
hear
if
like the
it's-
mechanism go off or something. It depends on
Yeah.
the trap.
you might see the
Perhaps.
light glint off the wire.
Oh, I suppose moment would help you disarm a trap you've found, not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Find
I
a
would give
trap.
you that. Like when you're trying to do the right thing and you gotta like shove the pin in at the right spot or whatever. Disarming a trap, I will definitely give you, but maybe not searching.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I'll accept those rules.
Thank you. So, Sales made it to the doorway. John comes across the plank after him and starts searching the doorway for
I
traps.
scream
traps.
back down the. I scream back down the cave. Do you want to live forever? And then pull the lever as hard as I can.
I take a step back, but if he's pulling the lever, I'll go back because
You
I'm not
hear
stupid.
the grinding of stone on stone. And that plank sort of bumps up a little bit. Plank laid across the
Oh.
ground.
Uh-huh.
So now I'll poke it with the stick.
It appears that there is a piece of stone that has slid up underneath the plank to create a walkway over the...
Did a body come up with that one?
No. But you could poke your head through the through the illusory floor and see it is a 10-foot pit with a body at the bottom.
You dead?
Oh yeah, super dead. You know, there's a bunch of
Off a
spikes down
10-foot
there.
fall. Oh.
Yeah, a bunch of spikes. There's actually a few older corpses down there as well, like just bones now. And there's some sort of, slat that has come out of the wall to slide up in like a lever angular. But now that you've pulled this lever, you can hear this like click, 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 click happening in the background, although a little slower than that, as if the lever will not
It's
stay down
temporary.
for long. Yeah, it's sort of like starting to reset itself.
Okay, well, if there's space, we can get everyone over, but I think we need to, I assume Dented and Kalfu, are they staying outside?
Dented cannot fit. Now that there's no door guard, it might be wise to leave Kalfu behind,
Yeah,
but
I
really
think the
you're
two
in
of them will
charge.
stay outside.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely fine, yeah.
the 4 of us will go in. So, I'll motion. All right, sail the door.
Very well,
Deep-
Captain. And
deep
I
breath.
will. I'll put my hand on the door and gently push on it. Is it a pull door or a push door?
It is a pull.
I chose incorrectly, and I put my weight behind the door, and it goes nowhere.
Other way,
and, then,
Sail.
and then I pull it open.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having a day, guys.
The light from your fireflies and from your torch fill into the room beyond. The room is 15 feet wide, 60 feet long. There's a door on the far end, and as soon as the door opens and the light spills in, you can begin to hear the grinding of stone on stone as the ceiling begins to descend.
Is the door behind us closing, or?
No.
I cast Dimension Door immediately, and I go to the next door.
Like
The
past the
door
next
on the
door, or-
far side. You step through the dimension door, and
I
tell
just
me
wanna
about dimension door. How
Yeah.
can you? Is it open for only an instant? Can you walk back and forth?
I think it's only open for an instant. Instantly transfers himself up to 30-yard distance per level of experience.
Excellent. You're on the other side of the 60-foot room. The ceiling is
Wait,
falling down towards you.
I can see though, right?
You can see, yes.
Okay, I open the door.
The ceiling is coming down. The door is heavy as fuck. The handle looks like it would slide upward. What is your strength?
He's not weak. It is 11.
Okay.
You are incapable of lifting this door. The ceiling is falling.
Okay, I would know this. If I enlarge myself, would I be able to lift the door? Do I think? I know
Enlarge
it
does
doesn't
not
mechanically.
increase your strength, so no, it
Okay.
would not help you.
By the time you cast that, Archie and Sail could be over there, right?
Well, more
Yeah.
importantly, the ceiling is falling.
Is falling down. Yeah.
How
yes,
fast are we
you-
talking then?
It will take 1 minute to reach the ground from the time that it started. He stepped through to the other side. He's on the other side of the hallway now. It has reached head height and it is sinking.
Okay. Do I think a knock spell would get this door?
Wait, how long is
Knock
this
spell
hallway?
60 feet. Knock spell unlocks
It doesn't
doors.
just throw it open.
But if this has to be lifted and it's heavy, like it doesn't raise portcullises, you have to squat
Got it.
now.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Okay,
I think
well, then I
I
dimension
think-
door back, I guess.
Do you
Wait,
have
no, I
two
think
dimension
Norum
doors?
is-
I do. It's 4th level spell. I
Okay,
get to it.
you
What are-
escape.
You're forgetting the part of Dimension Door where you reel for a round after casting it, right?
I didn't really do anything though, right? For that whole round.
Do you reel on the other side?
You reel for 1 round, yeah.
Well, that's 1 minute, so.
Uh-oh.
Am I just smashed?
So,
now?
I guess we're just dead.
I think
No,
you
I
probably
think
should have
we
played that
sprint.
more slowly because I think you're dead.
No,
Right?
because I think we sprint in after it.
So you're all going to run in and get crushed?
Well, I'm looking
Okay,
at my
hold
spells.
on. Wait,
I'm
let's-
reading
let's
them.
Yeah,
slow this way the fuck down, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Nilrum's dimension doors to the other side and is like
Correct.
kind of stunned and he's
He
reaching
reels.
for the wall and he's trying to lift it and everyone behind him can see that the ceiling is falling and
Yeah.
before he's recovered he will be crushed to death by the ceiling.
Can I use stone shape to create a crawling channel in the roof?
Stone shape has a full casting time of 1 round. By the time you get the spell off he'll be dead.
I can't.
I mean,
I can't.
Archie, what do you do?
Can I try to stop the fucking ceiling from coming down?
Just like stand and hold
Yeah.
it above you? Absolutely. You can get in there, put your hands to the ceiling. How much strength do you have, Archie?
I have motherfucking 18 strength, Neal.
That is absolutely amazing. The ceiling weighs like 5,000 pounds. There's no way even Archie can hold this thing as it begins to crush him. John, what do you do? Archie's holding the ceiling. Sail's flipping through his spells. Nilrum is reeling on the far side of the hallway.
okay. For fuck's sake. Well, just open the door. Someone. While Nilrum is, I see him reeling. I see Archie slowing the descent of the ceiling.
It's not
I
slowing
will.
at all.
Well, I make a snap judgment. I
What do you
realize
do,
that
John?
Nilrum's gonna die. I run into the room. I go and try and grab Nilrum and pull him out.
You run across the hallway to the room. There is a trap door, just like the previous one, halfway
Oh my
across the hallway.
fucking God.
You
Fucking
fall
hell.
10 feet. Roll me 2d6 damage for how much damage you take.
Neal, what the fuck
bad.
is this shit?
I really didn't expect somebody to dimension door on the other side of the hall.
Sorry, I thought I
you
could just open it.
Fall to a 10-foot pit and take 10 damage on the spikes as they pierce your feet and legs, John.
Ow.
Sail.
I feel it?
Sail.
I flip the lever that I'm standing beside. No, I
Eh.
close the door. Maybe that'll change. the
With
mechanism.
everybody
I
on the
don't know.
inside, you close the door.
Can I
have
hear
the
the stone
torch.
still moving?
The lights go out in this
Okay, I
room.
open the door.
No, hold on. Let me finish. The fireflies are in this room illuminating it. You have the torch, so you slam the door shut. The room on the inside goes dark because the natural and the magical light and the magical darkness cancel. And the torch is on your side, so your room is still lit. That room is dark. And the descending ceiling stops. And it slowly begins to reverse. I don't know how you lucked in to that answer. That's literally the only thing that would have saved you.
I
Wow.
pulled the lever and closed the door. It's like the two things I can interact with.
Yes. And the ceiling begins to slowly rescind as Archie pushes up against it.
Just like.
Did it, guys.
No problem. The remaining 45 seconds or so passes, and you can sort of, get your shit together, but it's pitch black in here. You can hear John, who has fallen into a pit, probably calling for help.
Yeah, I'm rushing to get
Hang on, I
John.
can get out of a 10.
No reels.
Unless it's got grease or something on the wall.
I'm going to open the door and hand the torch to Archie, and then close the door again so that we can think.
The ceiling begins to descend on everybody in the room.
The issue's the light. Move the light out. No one will call out.
I take the light out and close the door.
Ceiling begins to ascend again.
And it's pitch black in here.
Pitch
Oh,
black.
I thought it-
Can't see shit.
Okay.
Hey,
I didn't even understand
give me
the
a
answer
hand.
that I stumbled upon.
what the fuck is going on up there?
I reach down to get John out of there.
I feel around to find Archie's hand and pull myself out.
Yeah, give me a strength check, Archie. That should be an easy one. Yeah,
Easy.
not a problem. You yoink John out.
You all looking to join me on this side of things? You all almost died there. You need to be more careful. Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, Captain. Come to my voice. The door is right over here.
yeah. Everyone,
Archie, open this
watch
up.
out. Hang on. Walk towards Nilrim. I'm going to put my hands out and stop anyone walking into this fucking pit.
Okay.
It's just Archie who needs to come over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Archie, it's pitch
Yes.
black. You were just
Yes.
at a pit in the ground that you pulled John out of, and there's
Yeah.
some sides. You can hear Nilrim over there. How are you navigating the pits in the darkness?
Okay, so. Wait. Sorry, help me understand the
Yeah.
geometry of the situation. So
Yeah.
I pulled out John, right?
Yeah, you
Out of the
pulled
pit.
John out of a 5-foot pit in a
Yeah.
15-foot wide hallway, and the pit's like right in the
I use the healing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John navigated his way around the pit already?
No. You just pulled him back out, so he's on your side of the pit, like on
Oh,
your door
okay.
side. Yeah. Then there's a pit, some more space, and then the door on the far.
I feel like I would just carefully pat out with my hands the floor, see where the pit starts, where it ends, just kind of find the edge, and then try to walk around it.
Yeah, you can sort of come around to the edge of the pit. You find the corner, come down
Yeah.
along the edge to the other corner, and then
Yeah.
you go part way along the other side, and then what? Just turn and hope you're facing Nilrim directly?
Wait, is it not just like a corridor?
It is a corridor, but the walls are pretty far to the sides. You can't reach
Okay.
the.
I mean, I can move my I can stay I can hug the wall, right?
Oh, you could if you want to go to the side and hug a wall, you can hug a wall. Totally. I just wanted to know if you're walking down the middle of the room, if you're walking down the wall, if you're trying to
I would,
crawl or climb the
I
ceiling.
would hug the wall as I head towards Nilrim's voice.
Excellent. Give me dexterity check, Archie.
No
Because the
problem.
walls also
my ass.
have pits on them just a little bit further down. And you go to step forward and trust the ground with that natural one on that dex check, and you fall into another 10-foot pit filled with spikes.
This is
Nilrum, would you roll me 2d6 falling damage into the spike
I got
pit
you.
for him?
I got you. I'm gonna roll low.
Oh, buddy!
Wow.
Jesus.
Pitch black.
On enemy next time, please.
You fall into the spike pit. Old
I hear-
iron spikes run through your thighs as you land in there. One of them goes right into your ass, another into your back. You're bleeding all over the place. It hurts, and you're down in
Archie,
the dark hole.
Archie curses like you might if you hit like your little toe on a fucking table.
As I hear Archie fall into the pit, I say, "Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm gonna kill that James guy."
Can I put out my torch and join them in this room?
Yeah, you can douse your torch somehow and open the door. Step on through.
Or at the very least, I'll leave the torch here and go through.
Sure. You leave it burning. These things are important. Do you douse it or do you leave it burning?
I think. How long does the torch last? Would I know?
An hour, maybe.
Yeah, I would douse it as long as I have a way. Like I would cover it, and if I have a way to relight it, I would.
Yeah,
cover
you do.
it.
John's got a way to relight it.
Yeah, then I would cover it for later.
Great. So here we have a grid, just an empty, plain grid. I'm gonna let you all doodle on this grid if you want to sort of give you a tool to sort of understand the space that you're in. Each of these squares that you see before you is 2.5 feet wide. So,
Can you at least put the? Sorry.
A 4x4 section is a 5-foot thing. You know what I mean? Like, this right here is a 5x5 chunk of ground. So if you want to do like a 10-foot path or a 5-foot wide hallway that is 35 feet long, you do something like this.
Where would
This is
Nilrum's
dumb.
voice be coming from?
Just let me change it to a 5-foot grid. This is a bad way of doing it.
Do we know how wide these corridors are? Sorry.
Yeah.
5?
The very first one was 5 feet wide. The one that you're currently in right now is 15 feet.
Okay, so how long do we feel the first corridor was?
20 feet.
Ooh.
Okay.
So there, that's the first one.
Nilrum calls out.
I'm doing-
Can I get a direction on where he is in the map?
Yeah. The next area that you're in right now is 15 feet wide by 60 feet long.
Right, but let's
And
draw the
so-
traps in. So there was a trap like here, right?
Yep.
And there was a door. This was the way in.
Perfect.
And there's a door
Perfect.
here too, like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
same
how
thing
many
on-
feet in was my first trap?
About 20.
20 feet in.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the middle like this?
Yep, something like that. Yep. And
And
then
where's
in
it?
darkness, Archie was walking along to the right side of the wall, the southern side in this situation.
Yeah.
And
Somewhat
fell
in
into a pit somewhere. You're not really sure. There's, without light, you can't tell, but somewhere along this backside
Yeah.
was the pit.
John is out of the pit, though, correct?
Yeah.
John is out of his pit. Archie is presently in his 5-foot pit.
John, can you not just crawl along the floor and feel around?
Yes, well, clearly I'm going to have to be the one to work this out. So, first of all, Neil, I look around. Can I see where the party are?
No, it's
my-
pitch black.
Pitch black.
No, but I can see their life force now.
No.
Oh.
In the... Oh, wait, the magical darkness and the magical light cancel. So, yes, normal lighting conditions prevail, and you can indeed see Nilrum. And you could see Archie if he was not in a hole right now.
That's good.
Archie's still in a hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing I do I see Sale? Is he behind me at the door?
Yes, Sale had set his torch down, opened the door, which caused the ceiling to fall down again a little bit, came in and shut the door, and now the ceiling went back up and it's pitch black.
Okay. I take a step here to Sale and will offer my hand. Sale, take my hand.
I will take the captain's hand.
And I will walk like this, Neil, to the edge of the pit trap, which I feel with my stick.
Mm-hmm.
And then make sure that this is safe.
Mhm.
I go down one, I go here, and then I'm going to throw my rope 50 feet out in front of me and hope I look for it to fall down a pit.
Yeah,
Archie,
you won't
there's a rope coming.
You won't
won't
see
see
it
it.
fall down a pit, but as you pull it back, there will be a point at which the weight of it tugs forward, and then you can let it out, and it'll feed down.
Can I guess where the hole is based on that?
No.
Okay. I then ask Sail to brace me, and I will attempt to pull Archie out of the pit.
I will hold on to John.
With the three of you in the rope, no checks needed. Archie can pull himself out of a pit.
Sick.
Okay. So now is Archie stood in front of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Archie
so let's
has
just
come out of his pit. He's like right here, standing at the edge of it.
Okay. I squeeze past him. Archie, let me pass. Get behind. Get in line.
You squeeze past Archie.
Well, I want him to be where I am, and I want to be like here.
Okay, you want to switch positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because squeezing past means you fall in the pit. I just want to be very clear.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So now I get out my stick and I feel the square in front of me here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about a 5x5 trap that goes down.
Okay, this is the trap.
There's
I check to
space.
the north.
Based on the north.
Okay. I'll go up one. And I will make sure I hear Archie move over one and Sail follow him. Guys,
Your token.
move right one, Archie.
A move. Sorry.
Yeah, move your. There you go. Okay, now Neal, I check directly towards Nilrim.
Should be fine. You can see Nilrum's faint image in the distance, and you can tap, 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 and that square seems good.
Yeah, okay. I will move here.
And you bring
Check
the
again in
party
front.
with you.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're a smart character.
We're like holding onto each other's clothes.
Yeah, and you can tap, tap, tap down the middle of the hallway, all the way
Okay.
to Nilrum.
So wait, just before we move on here, I am going to draw a safe path through this place,
With
which
what?
I think is like, well, just for my own.
Oh, just on the map for yourself, but not
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, maybe that is that cheating. Maybe that's
That's
cheating.
probably cheating if we need to
That's
run
probably
out. Yeah?
cheating. Yeah.
Okay.
If your
well,
characters had pen and paper or chalk or whatever, you could do it your own.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Archie, get in
Archie,
front and open the
switch places. I switch places with Archie.
I will delete
Switch
your
places,
things
yeah.
because you honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
No.
Archie, jump up.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
And I try to open the door.
Archie, with your 18 strength, you can lift the door. It's slow, it's hard, but you can do it. You can slide the stone slab straight up, but it's a heavy fucking door. It will take you a strength check to hold it open every round that you want it to hold open. Just so we know.
Okay.
Give me.
I will relay this to the party.
Okay. I used a healing salve when I was in the pit. By the time this happens, have I regained any HP?
Yeah, this will have taken a while. You can have taken 10 minutes or whatever you need. It's fine.
Is that how long it takes? 10 minutes.
9. Yeah.
I wanted to clarify as well, Koibu. The choice when I was doing the torch is to leave it lit and behind, or
Right.
put it out, or take it with me. Those were the. I think you said I put it out and left it behind.
Okay, you put it out and took it with you.
Yes, just to be
Perfect.
clarified.
Yes, I really appreciate that clarification. Excellent.
Okay, I think we need to shimmy so Sail is behind Archie, and I think we want Sail to go through the door into the next room while Archie holds it open.
Yeah.
And then I think then once it's safe, me and Nilrim follow through, and then like Nilrim and Sail can hold the door from the other side while Archie scoots through.
Should I use a detect magic?
Yes, I would say now's a good time.
Sure, I will fire off a detect magic as I
Right
look through the
now.
door right now. Yeah.
Okay, so the door is opened, and stretching out before you is a hallway. It is 5 feet wide. It is 15 feet long, and then it takes a 90-degree turn to the right, on this map to the south.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I detected
Sail-
no magic.
Oh, you detect so much magic, Sail. There's magic. Well, the ceiling's got some magic on it. Behind you, well, I guess you're not looking behind you. In front of you, there's no magic, actually. In front of you, it's fine. This nice, narrow corridor here.
Should we try the light again?
Your light is still active, and it illuminates this area. This area does not seem to be magically darkened, and you can see into it. And as the
Okay.
party, well, actually, give me a. That doesn't matter right now. Why don't we take
No,
our
what do
first
you
break
want?
right here,
Okay.
and when we come back on the other side, we'll continue the dungeon delve. So see you soon. Bye.
Fantastic.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So,
Okay.
Marty,
So I'm going to ask John for the stick. And push
Yes,
my way through the
I sh-
door.
I will hand you the stick.
now, just a moment, because it's always good to slow down when we're in danger here.
True.
These doors are
Sorry?
heavy. They're really heavy. So Archie can lift them with his 18 strength. And maybe a couple of you in conjunction could lift it together. But like, to lift it, you gotta be standing in the middle of the doorway. And the doorway is, just a normal doorway. So slipping past Archie is a bit of a slow process, right? You have to like squeeze past him. You don't want to bump him and like make him lose his grip and have the door fall and crush both of you. So all 4 of you can move past in 1 round if you're all like right there and ready. But like, it takes a strength check to hold the door, and it is a bit of a slow move to get on through. I just want to be very clear about the weight of this door.
Real quick question. Does the door look like it can be opened from the other side? Or is it like
Yes.
perfectly smooth?
There's like an etching on both sides where Archie has like put his fingers to lift it and then like up underneath it to support it from above.
Okay.
But good check.
He gets a +4 on this check, right?
to
Because of him failing endurance.
Failing endurance.
It is on fitness and it's fitness and endurance checks or something?
Stamina. Yeah. Strength, stamina, con, fitness. Yes, this would be a stamina check for him.
Okay.
Yes, he gets +4 on this.
Roller.
Essentially, he would only fail on a natural 1 then. So, should be
Yeah,
fine.
so I think we try and rush through the door, and if he gets
Yep.
a 1, then we'll deal with the fallout.
Yeah, it
If he gets
shouldn't
a
be
1,
too
we'll
much
lose a
of a
leg.
problem. Archie, strength check. Don't roll a 1.
Easy. No problem.
Yeah. Quickly,
No problem.
everybody shuffles through. Sale was first, I believe.
Yes. And I wanted to test this wall to the left.
Archie will be
Left,
last.
illusory.
No.
The
I
have
wall
one
to
more-
the left feels solid. You put your arm against it, feels real.
Yeah, I'm like testing all the walls because now I don't trust the place. And I'm even like tapping the roof and stuff.
What
I
are
have
you
one
using
more
to
dimension door.
tap all
Sorry.
these things?
I got the stick off the captain. So I'm
Got it.
like,
Yeah.
Tap,
Archie would
tap,
have to be last in the order here, right?
Yes, he
Yeah.
absolutely would. Like, who's
Yeah.
who's
No,
second?
then.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
marching order will be very important to us.
Oh, fantastic.
The end of this
I've-
hallway, which you have drawn
can I
correctly.
see the end?
Yes,
Oh, nice.
the fireflies are in here. This room is magically lit by the fireflies. It's actually just a wee bit shorter, and then there is yet another door.
I'm going to. My paranoia is kicking in, and I'm like, okay, the next one, it funnels us into a little corridor. I'm going to tell everyone to crouch. Just be on your knees in case something comes flying through this door.
All right.
Yeah, all
And
right.
I will step towards the door.
Yeah, this door
Wait, hang on.
looks...
He said he cast detect magic. What did he say? You said there was magic everywhere, but
No. There was magic in the previous
There
room.
is no
This room
magic.
has no magic except for Nilrum's fireflies.
okay.
Now, this door looks a lot like the one that you just came through, where it's got like a slat on the bottom that you could grip it and lift it from. It doesn't quite have a normal knob.
Okay. I have 15 strength. Can I lift this door?
You want to reach the door, touch it, and attempt to lift it?
Yeah, I'm going to step forward.
No
Very
way.
gingerly.
It's way too heavy. He's fucking heavy.
Oh,
goddamn door.
Archie.
Do I think Archie could lift it? Like, does
You
it
did
look
the
roughly
last
the
one?
same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I will let everyone know that there's a door here, and Archie's probably going to have to lift it too.
We shuffle. I squeeze into this corner.
Yeah. Do the thing.
All right, Archie.
Can I make my way through? Yeah.
Make your way through. You put your fingers in the slats. You begin to lift, and as soon as the door like lifts up, a few inches, you can feel all sorts of like heat bellowing out from the other side, washing over your ankles and shins. As the door lifts up to your knees, like the hairs on your legs begin to curl a little bit. As it comes up to your waist, the other people can duck down and look through and see that the hallway beyond is 15 feet by 60 feet. It is lit because it is covered in flames that appear out of the ground as if out of nowhere.
Huh.
I can't handle that.
From where you're standing in the doorway, you aren't taking damage right now, but it is a hallway filled with flame and a similar door at the far end.
Okay. Drop the door for a minute. Let's think about it.
Okay. I dropped the door.
So in terms of description, is it like a bunch of holes in the floor with flames coming out?
No. There's just fire everywhere. There's no source of the magic of fire.
Okay,
I just
I'll
believe it.
say
Well, you can't see it right now, but you know.
Well, I
real,
will
yeah.
when it comes
It's real.
back.
Okay.
Can somebody draw a 60-foot line for me, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Archie, can you lift it up for a second? Again?
I lifted up for a second.
I do roll an actual disbelief check because it seems.
Yeah. These get rolled in secret. What's your saving throw?
Oh, which one? Spell?
Spell, yeah.
10.
Looks pretty fucking real, dude.
Okay, you can
A lot
grab
of
it.
magic in this room.
before he drops it, can I like stick the end of the stick through to see if it gets charred?
Yeah, the stick begins to blacken and twist with the flame.
Christ. The whole room's on fire. It's not like the edges of the room are on fire. It's just like the room is on fire.
There is
Room is
fire
on.
in the room.
I'll let the party know that I do have resist fire, but I don't have it on me. So
God, it was a bit of an effort getting this far.
Waving over
Archie,
you.
drop the door.
The door goes down. And Sail, you'll notice that your stick is not smoking.
it's charred, but it's not smoking. I will very gently touch the stick to test its temperature.
Feels cool to the touch.
What's wrong, sir?
The stick, it's burnt, but it's not hot. And
That
it's
sounds
not
like magic
smoking?
to me. Is that a magic stick? Let me see that. I take the stick.
Feels like a regular, ordinary stick.
When Archie opens the door, I need you all to try your hardest. I know it looks real, and I know that I believe it is real. But I need you to try your hardest to disbelieve it, because it doesn't make any sense. And no one will go, "Why? It doesn't make any sense how fire can't just like spring up out of the ground for this long. Like it just wouldn't make sense."
He's right. That does sound like it doesn't make sense. Okay, I will attempt to disbelieve the illusion when the door gets opened.
One question I have, is the like stick actually like charred? Like, is there soot on it, or is it just like?
You run your hand along the edge of the stick looking for soot, and it comes out clean and unsooted.
Okay, this is fake fire. Neilrum's right.
I think that gets us a +4. Let's go.
You open the door, and everyone does pass their check. It is illusory fire. It is an empty hallway with fake flames that seem so real that you would burn you.
Interesting. Okay. All right, Archie, keep moving. Oh no, wait.
well,
Archie has
nope.
to be last again.
Yep. Give me that strength check while you hold the door and everyone goes through. Don't roll a 1. It's fine.
Easy.
Who wants to go to the door at the far end of this hallway? And do you want to
Sail,
do
you've been
anything
doing a
else
good job.
while you go through it?
Poke around.
I will poke I'll poke in front of me to make sure there's not a big obvious pit as I walk.
Good call.
Yes.
There's no pit. But good call. Well done.
You gotta check for pits. I have a sinking feeling in my stomach, guys, that these doors that like require effort to open is setting us up for being attacked by something that we're gonna want to run away from. That we're not gonna
All
be
right.
able to.
How about we do this? Why can't we just go back to the beginning, bring in some rocks, put the rocks at the bottom of the door? It'll allow Archie at least a bit of leverage to get it up quicker. We're not in a rush. We have all the time in the world, and we can map this place out.
We have to get a few more planks for those pits in the
I
ceiling room.
shrug. There's a bunch of trees around, knock a few down. Kalfu has you see the axe that he carries. We have den.
You're right. This is smart, Norin. This is why we keep you on. I think this is what we should do. Lest we all find ourselves meeting our grave here.
Um,
So I think we're going to do that, Neal.
Okay. Everyone.
my one problem with this is that there does seem to be some kind of timing mechanism. So maybe the fact that
do you
we have opened this place has triggered something deeper inside that, if we walk away and we come back, whatever lies at the end isn't there anymore or something like that. Like the person
This
who
was meant to
made
be
this.
this was meant to be a tomb. They want it undisturbed, or whoever's disturbing it to know the path. Doesn't seem like it should go away, right?
Well, specifically, if I were designing a tomb, that the person who was to come into it would know the path. If someone were to try to come into it undisturbed, I would make it so that you couldn't just brute force it. You couldn't take your time making it to the end. There would be some kind of way in which, because if the person who's supposed to be there is there, they can just get to the end, no problem. And if they take too long, you destroy the tomb.
Makes sense.
So I don't know if we have the time to do this. I feel like I rolled really high on my wisdom check there.
It is your god, Sale.
I'm not
That's
even
how you
sure.
think?
I haven't talked to him about it.
Well, I'm not here to argue with either you. Do you agree with Sale, or?
I could agree with Sale, yeah. It could go either way.
Okay, let's carry on, and we hope that whatever's in here, Archie can punch it to death before we have to run away.
Should be fine.
The center path of this hallway has been tested and is fine. Sale, you
Okay.
reach the door at the bottom end.
Yep. And what kind of door is it?
Same as the last one.
All right, same setup, Archie.
Yeah, go to lift the door, right?
Mm-hmm. You can lift the door. There is a 5-foot wide passageway before it opens into a 10-foot wide corridor that is 60 feet long.
How long is the passageway? 5 foot.
Yeah,
And then it opens up again into
10 foot
60.
by 60.
Oh, it's a 10 foot, you'd be.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward on this. That's why I usually split the squares in
Can
half.
somebody draw me a 60 line?
Really, really important question, actually. Is this dungeon made of worked stone or natural stone? Like, is the floor like
It is
carved?
worked stone.
Okay.
Archie's holding the door.
Yeah, I think we move through, right? Same as before.
Same as before.
Who's in first?
Sale?
Sale?
Sale. Okay, and Sale, you have both your hands free right now? Right?
Yes, I have a torch on my belt loop, but it's like not in my hand.
Got it. And Archie, give me that strength check, just so you don't accidentally drop it on someone as they come through. Close one. It's
I
fine.
like drop it a little, but I catch it just in time.
Excellent. And after Sale, Archie has to be last, right? So it goes
Yeah.
John, Nilrum, G. Okay. The other side of this has a similar 5-foot recess before there's a doorway, and then another. Who knows what lies beyond?
Poke.
Came on map, seriously. So.
Yeah. I am going to step to. My instincts are telling me to step to one side of this room and poke my way along the wall and floor.
So stick on the floor, on the wall, on the floor, on the wall.
Like stick in front of me and my hand on the wall. But I'm not
Got it.
leaning on the hand. I'm just feeling the wall.
Got it. You proceed down the hall. I need you to roll me D10 minus 3. You want to roll high.
Roll a 10.
Roll 10, yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay.
Did I dodge something bad?
You get most of the way down the hallway, the rest of the party following along. When at the last minute your stick sort of bounces and gets kind of caught. Like, it gets caught on the lip of a stone, but you realize it's not actually caught on the lip of the stone. There's something that it's pushing into before you, and that's when you realize there's like a slight wobble to your vision. And we all must roll initiative because there is a large cube of sentient jelly in front of you that is like mostly transparent to the point that you wouldn't even have noticed it there, except you are so close and you rolled really high on your surprise check.
Is this one of those like consuming slimes? Oh god.
Can I get an int check to know if this would be fine against lightning?
I don't think you have any reason to know one way or the other if it's fine against lightning or not.
You already know I'm casting it.
Alrighty, buddy.
'em.
Fuck 'em. What I like to
Fuck 'em.
hear.
Think about the angles before this lightning bolt bounces
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in our
yeah,
face,
yeah.
please.
We're good.
All about the angles.
Couldn't he just make it a 5-foot lightning bolt?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually want to do the math. Norm will do it.
Norm's a genius.
Norm's a genius. Yes, true, he is. People don't say that enough, you know?
Doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't.
Unfortunately for us, the gelatinous cube is going dead last. Would the remainder of our party roll initiative?
I'm just taking a quick second to have a think. If you want me to
Yeah.
cast hesitation, if you want me to cast like that, like
Well,
think a moment spell.
it is right next to you. I would like you to hurry as fast as you can. What are
Okay,
you doing? What are you doing?
I'm casting heat metal. Wait, that's the wrong button.
There we go.
I'm assuming me and John would like notice that there's a lightning bolt about to go off and we're chilling.
I don't know. Did Norm call out that he was casting lightning bolt?
Was it
You've seen
calling
me
that
cast
out?
lightning bolt a ton of times. You see I grab my
Yeah.
little metal
Goes for his
little
rod.
clear rod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've
All right.
practiced this.
Mm-hmm. The two of you can hold back while Nilram produces his rod, rubs it down with a bit of fleece, and that magic,
25.
that electricity that extends from the rod when it's properly excited, bolts forward. How long is your lightning bolt?
Second. 40 plus 10 yards per level.
No, that's the range, but what's the length?
that's the range.
Because you can do like a 10-foot wide or a 5-foot wide.
You can do 10 feet wide and 40 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Or a single bolt 5 feet wide and 80 feet long.
Great. Well, if you do a
10 foot wide.
10-foot wide,
Right.
then it'll go. Well, it'll actually sort of hit your people in front of you, unfortunately. So you'll have to do a 5-foot wide one. And
5 foot wide, I'll bounce it a ton of times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's plenty of. Good. It's great. The lightning bolt bounces off the wall, goes right into the cube, and fizzles on the cube, doing no damage to the cube. The cube is immune to electricity.
Oh, is this thing taller than the root? Like, how tall is it?
It's
relative
really
to the
hard to
ceiling?
see. Like, you didn't even see it when it was right in front of you, but you can tell it's sort of big. Like, maybe there's a gap between it and the ceiling. Maybe it's flush with the ceiling. There's no way to tell without, like, taking way more time than you have in the middle of combat.
Okay, well, I do my action and I throw a stone on it.
Based.
You get a 20 nil.
Your rock hits the cube.
Damn right. Shall I roll damage or?
No. I don't think throwing a rock against a piece of jelly is going to hurt it.
Great information.
Yeah. Yeah. Archie and Sail.
Archie does the only thing he knows how to do, Neal. He's
Go
gonna
punch him.
punch the jelly cube.
We're punching, baby.
All right. Your fist meets the cube. It
He rolls
strikes
punch.
the cube. It deals damage to the
To the
cube.
cube.
You.
However, you find yourself swimming, strangely.
Roll me damage there, Val.
Sure.
Eat the cube.
Now you'll notice when your fist hits the cube, and it does do damage. Your fist sort of like sinks into the cube a little bit. It's not doing as much damage as you necessarily would have liked. But more than that, the cube like touches your fist, and you need to make me a saving throw versus paralyzation, because the cube is covered with an anesthetized, paralyzing venom or poison or toxin, and you find yourself slowed and then paralyzed for 5d4 rounds by the cube. But you did do damage to it.
Do I roll 5d4?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's a long time. Essentially all of combat. Oh my
13.
god. Archie runs up, smashes the cube, and then finds himself like, as the cube begins to like suck him into it. Sail.
So what I want to do is cast heat metal on my rapier
Oh,
and then just toss it
Carve
at
it.
the slime so that it eats it.
oh, mate, that is genius.
It's fucking brilliant. Yeah, you cast heat metal on your rapier.
Okay.
It heats,
How does the slime feel about that? How does it react?
and you toss it. Right?
Blown away by the big brain nature of the idea.
Nope.
Hey, I need to look up the exact timing on heat metal. Easier to see on the table.
Hey Nick, this is why Firebolt or Lightning Bolt suck. It's fucked us in 2 campaigns in a row now.
True,
Oh.
yeah.
And I'll toss my torch to Nick and say, light it. Maybe fire will work.
Okay, I grab the torch.
So on this round, it just becomes uncomfortable to the touch. During the second and subsequent rounds, it will actually deal damage. But right now, it's just hot, and you toss it to the cube like wraps around it and absorbs your rapier inside the cube. You can see like little bits of bubbles starting to form on the edges of the rapier. The cube is here. It is already touched. Archie.
Wait, talk to me about Archie's positioning though. Is his hand in the cube or not?
Yes. The cube is beginning to sort of pull Archie towards it as it moves into Archie, and it is sucking Archie into the cube. Let me do the monster.
Not the cube.
Archie's like, guys, I can't punch it, no.
So is this like... I
Yes.
wonder how... I have hold poison and slow poison, but I don't know if this will help here.
No, it won't.
The cube will try to, like, it will move into this area and begin to absorb you. And in the process, you know, it's sort of like a big wall, but this, like, little pseudopod of jelly, like, reaches out and tries to smash Sail in the face. It will roll an attack to hit you, Sail. What is your AC?
Currently, with magical
14?
armor, it is...
Rolls a 16.
It is 15. It hits.
Give me a saving throw versus paralyzation, or be paralyzed and sucked into the cube. Oh my god. Both of you
Here we
are
go.
sucked in, and you will each take on this round 2d4 damage.
Yeah, a little spear.
So,
Plus a little extra from the burning rapier.
Archie, no, the rapier is separate. Archie will take 6, Sail will take 3. And you're both paralyzed and sucked into the cube, with only the other 2 on the outside still alive. Let's roll into initiative this round. This round, however, the cube will take damage. It will take d4 burning damage from the rapier.
Did you say
Okay.
how much damage we actually took? It was 2d4?
Yeah, I rolled it. You took 4.
You took 3.
3.
3.
You took 3.
Archie took 6.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Excellent. Will you roll me d4 damage this round, Sail, as the cube begins to dissolve you with its acid? And your rapier burns it.
Oh.
Cube will take 1 point of damage this round. And Nilrum and Captain John, the only 2 player characters that can still act,
You did not roll a cube. Oh, there you go.
are
Okay.
rolling for initiative, and you've rolled.
I
Nilrum,
am.
starting the party off.
Magic missile.
Oh, thank God.
Whoa,
we
that is a
need right
really
now.
good roll.
Uh,
15 points will not quite kill the cube, but you will blast it apart into small little segments. Little bits of goose are flying all over the place. The cube quivers
Thank
under your
God.
magic missiles. John.
I was hoping to pull Archie out, but now the sail's in there, and I assume Archie's now like fully in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna swing at it with this torch.
Yeah. Roll the
Like,
hit.
try and attack it with the torch. Shall I just do a basic melee attack?
Yes, please. Oh,
Guess I lose
God.
my torch.
Yeah, the torch, like... well, it's not lit, first off, and so it, like, kind of hits the cube ineffectively and then just gets
It's not
absorbed.
lit.
No, it was
You
put
didn't
out.
light it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I talked to you and said you need to light it.
Yeah,
We're all having a rough day.
it gets sucked into the cube.
Well, I actually would have spent my turn lighting it if it wasn't lit. But
Well, you
what's
rolled
done
a
is done.
1, and I think the 1 means that you pull out the torch thinking it's lit, and then it gets sucked in. I'm sorry, Nick.
You're an
Do I?
idiot.
Am I at risk of getting pulled in myself with a 1? Do you
No,
want to say
no.
versus death another one? No. Okay.
No, I was going to say that, but I think it's more fun just to have the torch get sucked in because you didn't realize it was lit. I think that's just more entertaining.
Okay.
The cube will reach out and try to slap you, John. What's your
Hit
AC?
wishes. 15.
No, it misses. Sadly.
Ha! Dodged.
But it does sort of like continue to shuffle its way down the hallway in your direction, and you have to give ground. And both of you have
Yep.
movement because both of your turns have happened, so you can both back up a wee bit. Yeah,
Damage
back up that
for
far.
the other thing?
Back up, back up, back up.
Oh,
One more.
further?
Yeah, there. No, this is good. This is perfect. Next round initiative.
Damage for the rapier?
We already did. It was 1. It was a sad 1
Oh,
point of
okay.
damage. Sail, why don't you roll initiative, just a flat d10, and that'll be when your rapier damage kicks in.
Me and Sailor are still paralyzed, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're like paralyzed for like 15 rounds.
Yeah,
or something.
it's
Yeah.
okay. We're out of the fight.
Okay.
Whoever designed this was a genius in
Don't worry, Nick, I
dungeon
got it.
design.
Neal, Rob, and Captain John simultaneously.
10 damage.
Yeah, you'll blow apart the gelatinous cube. It sort of splatters on the walls and runs down and splits open, and the other two can be saved. Safe. And the cube is
Huzzah!
destroyed. No more.
No. What the fuck was that? Are they gonna come back? I look at Archie like paralyzed on the floor and Sail next to him.
I'll
Oi,
kick him.
Archie! I like slap him across the face. Wake up!
Do they look dead?
Am I conscious?
Oh, okay.
You
they
are
don't look
conscious but paralyzed.
dead. Captain,
Okay,
they're, they're fine.
Oh, they're breathing.
Mm-hmm.
this is a horrifying
well.
experience. This reminds you of when Hold Person was cast on me. I really don't.
I pull
like
out the
being
bard's
contained.
dagger. Should we? And give
Let's
Captain a
not.
look.
Let's not. I guess, how long's this gonna last? We can't get out of this room without Archie anyway.
You should be
cozy.
trying to scoop up some of that venom if you can.
Nilrum sits
I-
down
I was
and
Good point, yeah. Well, I think what I will do is, I'll like sit against the wall. What happens to the cube then, Neil? What happens to the remnants of it?
It's just splattered everywhere and is dead. You
Can I
have all
try and
probably been
collect?
splattered by goo, and it doesn't seem to be affecting you. It seems that as it died,
Solid.
whatever remains of it has lost its potency and effectiveness. It is definitely a magical or semi-magical creature.
The question
Wait
I
for
have
my
is,
friends to wake up.
are slimes creatures that we could create and then coat them in a similar slime and then like airdrop them on a town
Oh my god.
with a griffin?
Slime carpet bombing.
Crazy man.
Yeah, we just wait for them to wake up.
wait for him to wake up.
20
In
minutes
fact, no,
pass.
I mean, I'd probably try and start like opening this door myself to see if there's any way I can. I mean, is it beyond?
The two of you
openable.
together might be able to do it. What are each of your strengths?
No, I'm gonna help you. 11?
10 and 11.
Well,
21.
we wouldn't be able to get through it, right?
You can hold. You
Just-
can lift
just a peek.
230 pounds. You are. Oh. You are 25 pounds shy of being able to lift this with the two of you. You are literally trapped in this room.
We're actually stuck in here, yeah. So we have to wait for that.
All right, 20 minutes later, paralysis wears off. You got party members
Ah.
around again.
Thank fuck you two are awake.
What happened?
The slime it paralyzed you. You were in it. You were both floating in it. Norum's magic. Dispersed.
Don't worry, I handled it.
You still got spells, Norum, in case there's another one of those things?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have one more magic missile and one more lightning bolt.
Well, what else could be protecting this place? Let's keep moving. Don't forget, Sail. Your stick.
My stick? Oh.
Yeah.
I
To check the
scoop up
floor.
whatever remains of the stick after it was up by the slime.
Yeah,
and I'll,
slightly dissolved. It's still there. It still works. You
It's
can
all
get
good. Yeah.
to the end of the hall.
I will take
Come on,
my
Archie.
rapier as well, and I'll put it on my character sheet.
Is it rapier okay?
Yeah.
Sweet. That was a big brain move, by the way.
That was
Yeah.
the very first thing I thought of.
Nice.
Genius.
All right.
Archie,
let's
you get
go.
to the end. You can lift the door, no problem, and you come into one of those corner hallways again, where it does like a down and then a turn. This time turning down and then west.
Are we talking 5 feet wide?
5
And how
feet
long?
wide, 10 feet down, and then 10 feet over.
We poke.
Mm-hmm. Not a problem. Door at the other end. This door is not heavy. This is a regular door. Normal push or pull door.
Outside.
Really suspicious.
Come on, Sail. Open her
Yeah.
up.
I will gingerly place my hand on the door, the handle, whatever is available,
Mm-hmm. It's a
and
handle.
very
Yeah.
slowly open the door. I will push.
I duck around this corner.
Another
I'll
pull,
keep
my
fast,
friend.
you'll be
I'm so
outside.
sorry. You eventually open the door. Beyond you is a room that is 20 feet by 20 feet. Let's just call it 25 by 25 so that you can be in the middle. So deal with half walls. It is a square, 25
Sorry,
by
Neal, say it
25
again.
room.
25 by
25.
25. Cool.
Mm-hmm. And you are in the... You come out in the middle of it. Something like this. Yeah. Yeah. On the top side, in the center, is another doorway. Looks like an ordinary door. On the top left corner, there is a lever coming out of the very center of the wall, like in the corner of this. Same thing on the right side. There is a lever that comes out of the corner of the wall. There seems to be a placard next to each of these levers. And when I say these levers are coming out of the wall, bit of a brain fart, they come out of the ground and they're slanted towards you. To change them, you would push them towards the wall. Yeah.
like into the corner.
Into the
Yeah.
corner. Yeah. To activate them.
And there's only two?
There's only two, and there's a little placard, a little bronze bit of writing.
What's it say?
It's small. Someone's gonna have to get real close to be able to read it. Is everyone in the
Yeah,
room?
No
I'll
one will
make
get
my
real
way
close
through.
and read it. Don't
Yeah.
touch the fucking levers while I read this.
Yeah.
The one
Let's just
on the
assess our
left.
situation.
The one on the left says, "Push me." The one on the right says, "Do not push me."
No one gives the people a look.
Archie looks around, incredulous.
push
he
the
can't
one on the
fucking
right.
read.
Give me a perception check, Archie, as you look around incredulously.
Can I push? Can I gently push the bronze placard that says "Push me"?
Yes,
Ooh.
you can. The placard goes nowhere. Archie,
Damn.
your incredulous looking around has served you well. You notice the ground, 10 feet out from each of those levers, has like a bit of a seam in it, making like
Mhm.
a square box around each of the levers.
I will I'll kneel down and look at it, and I'll point it out of the party. Guys, look at this. There's like a it's like a gap. What's going on?
Maybe it opens up when you push the lever.
This is a placard, not a door, correct?
No, that's a door.
That's the door.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Are there
assume this door
placards
is
on each
locked.
side?
That's a great assumption.
I try the door. Yes.
It opens. The hallway
Guys, I don't think we
beyond.
touch them.
Could just be a trick. Either way, either which one you choose, you just fall through the floor.
Let's just leave them. We'll come back. We'll get them on the way out if there's an issue.
Yep.
We could try and push the lever without standing on that square. I mean, tile.
But this door, let's do it on the way back.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, Sail, lead the way.
Yep, I'll make my way.
Not today,
through this
Koibu.
door.
Not today, Neal.
Why don't we take our
What are we
second
looking
break
at?
right here,
Okay.
and we'll come back on the other side with a little bit more Dungeons and Dragons. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death.
We're here.
Being
Alrighty.
watermelon.
The hallway. So the room before you is 20 feet wide.
Okay.
It is 60 feet long. 50 feet long. Sorry, 50 feet long.
Okay.
In the middle of it, the 30-foot middle section is just a pit that drops down, filled with spikes.
Does it look like there's like
Yeah.
a slide that brings you to that pit or no?
No, but the
Okay.
wall, the ground doesn't go straight down. It goes over and then cuts back. So there's like an angular section. So if you were in the pit, like, and up against the wall, it would be like what do you say? You couldn't brace yourself against the wall or climb the wall to get out of the pit because it comes at a really weird, sharp angle. That pit is wide though. The pit is 30 feet wide.
So, does the pit like angle away
Oh.
from the walls?
I'll give you a quick doodle over here.
Is it time to dimension door, Nick?
I think
Yeah.
I think the pit is fake. I think you could just walk across. It's going to
It's
be
got-
like a reversal.
Spikes like this. If you're looking
Gotcha.
left
Really
to
hard
right.
to get out of. Yep.
Yeah.
How deep did you say it was? About like 20 feet?
It's about 10 feet, covered with spikes at the bottom. 2d6 falling damage if you fall into it. And all around the walls of the room are these like little tiny studs that look like, little balls or a little sphere attached to a short little rod. And they sort of stutter the walls all the way around you. And next to the door, laid gently at the ground, are two strange pieces of metal. They're like horseshoe shaped with another piece that would like lean over, almost like they latch closed to form a ring, or they open up to just be like a horseshoe piece of metal with like a little flappy thing on the end. I'll give you a little doodle. So like horseshoe shaped with a little bit
Okay.
that hangs off.
Describe the things on the side of the wall again. Do
just
they
like-
only start at the edge of the pit, or do they start?
No. They
across
stud the
wall?
whole everything all over the place, and they're just sort of like decorative, or they're little somethings that stick out, just like a little ball
Wow.
that attaches to the wall.
Okay, well, I'll pick up the horseshoe. Is there a way to close it?
Yeah, you could close and put a pin through it, and it would close itself.
Okay,
Well-
now try and hang it on the first one of these little sticks.
They're kind of high up there, but yeah, you could reach it if you jump and latch it on. You could get it over. It'll sit
Yeah.
over it, no problem.
Anything
Hey,
happen?
what's on the other side? Is there a door?
No. Oh yeah, there's a door on the other side, in the middle of the room.
I
Nothing
give
happens.
Captain a shrug.
You can't get us all across, though, can you?
No, but I get to the other door.
Well, so what? You can be on your own if there's something over there.
Moving on.
Is there a pattern to the studs on the wall? Is there, or is it just
me-
random?
A perception check and an intelligence check.
Can we work together on this?
Yes, you can use your highest perception and your highest intelligence, both at advantage, because you've got teamwork.
I have 9 perception.
Oh, yeah.
I have 12
well-
perception.
Roll,
8.
roll the 12 at advantage, then.
Okay. 30.
Yeah, there's no discernible pattern. There might be some differences, but they look more just like design flaws than anything else. No pattern jumps out at you.
So they're just
Describe-
completely random and they all look the exact same.
More or less, yeah.
Describe the spike situation to me. Like, if I was lowered down carefully in the pit, could I walk to the other side without hurting myself?
If you were gently and carefully lowered into the pit, you could probably walk to the other side. But when you get to the edge of the pit and you're like looking down, you notice that there's some sort of fluid down there. It's probably just water, though. You'd have to actually like touch it to smell it or whatever.
I'm wondering if a solution would be for Nilrun to teleport to the other side.
Put down
And
a rope.
then we would walk across, and then use the rope to get back up to the other side.
Is there like a handle on the door over there that he could secure a rope to?
I grab the rope. I tie it around Captain or Sail, whoever would rather. Basically, we're gonna tie it around you. We're
Oh,
gonna
that's
lower you
great.
down.
No, wait, you might not even need to do that. What if you tie one side of the rope to something on this side, teleport to the other side, and then the rope will be taut, you can tie it, and then we can use it to kind of like shimmy across.
What could I tie it to on the other side, though?
Just one thought that I had here is we do need to think about, we don't know if we get to the end of this dungeon if there's going to be an easy way out. So if we only solve this puzzle in one direction,
Yeah.
we can't leave.
These things on the wall, Neal,
Mhm.
I want to jump up and grab the thing I put the horseshoe on. Do I feel like it can hold my weight?
Yeah.
Could I? I mean, I'm a competent, dexterous rogue. Do I feel like I could just use these to get to the other side of the room?
Like a monkey bar your way across the pit?
Oh, monkey bar, or
Yeah,
I, don't know,
think
like
it would
face
be
the wall.
it would be a dex check because it's a difficult thing with a high degree of failure. So, one dex check, you could get across. In fact, I would say a dex
Go ahead,
check
Nick.
and you could make your way across back and forth without any problems.
No, you just sweeten the deal.
Because if I could go with the rope,
Yeah.
Are
maybe
these
then.
outcroppings,
use it.
are they big enough to tie a rope around them?
The studs out of the walls, yeah, you could tie a rope around one.
So he could, theoretically, if we could boost him up to a tall one, he could tie a rope around it and around his waist, and it's like he's rock climbing.
I suppose.
And if he falls, it would prevent him going all the way into the pit.
Well, the pit's
You'd
only
have
10
to-
feet deep and it's like 30 feet wide. So if you attach him to something right here and he falls over there, like the rope would still fall slack. He'd have to like consistently
fair.
reattach it each way, and that would be probably more dex checks than just the one to get across.
What if I were to? We tie the rope on one end here. I tie the other half around me. I go across, and then I could tie the other end of the rope to another one on that side, and then the rest of them could use the rope to cross without making a dex check. Does that sound feasible?
I would ask a dex or strength check to. I don't know how you would cross the rope. You'd have it taut. I guess you could do it, no problem. It'd be
Well,
fine.
you're basically climbing, but you have the rope as like the stability at your back. So you imagine if you have it almost taut to the wall, so you put a lot of your weight on the rope, and it gives you advantage to the climbing check. Let's
Oh,
say.
so you want to put the rope along the wall?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could do. Try a lot of things.
If there's clearly something going on with this, I'd say the ring thing, but maybe this rope will work.
Does it look like we could tie? Oh, could we tie a rope to it and try to hook it onto one of the balls on the other side with a throw?
Potentially.
Be a
But
hard
probably
shot, but in
Easier
theory-
for me to climb.
Can I inspect the little doodad things?
The two little horseshoe things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Are they different? Are they remarkable? Are they like a pair? Left
They're a
hand, right
pair.
hand?
There's two of them, but they're otherwise interchangeable. I think non-fungible is the cool new term to use.
Well, what are these for?
Well, I guess I don't know.
Is the question.
For climbing.
Yeah, I'll hold them in my hand. And do they like make climbing on these balls easier? Like if I use them like to hook on or whatever? And
I mean, you'd be gripping the ring, and then the ring would have to go around the thing, but it's probably easier just to grab something instead of try to toss a ring over it.
Is there only one ring?
2.
All right, I'm gonna go for it. I tie the rope around my waist.
Can you put your foot in it and then close it?
You could, but you could also just pull your foot out, or you could close it and just slip your foot through. Or do you mean like around your ankle? Because it latches and unlatches, so you
I
could
was
put it
thinking it
around.
might be like a magic shoe that'll let you walk over this thing.
Would you like
Magic
to
what?
detect magic?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah, sure, actually, yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Sure, I will detect magic and just like check the
Yeah,
room.
there is definitely the presence. Magic in the room. Let me tell you. Let me see how much I can tell you.
It might give
Okay.
him the school as well.
Room.
Is that a wizard thing? Or I don't know if I get that as a cleric, detect magic.
Oh, maybe you don't.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
With detect magic, can you always be sure that like the thing is coming from inside the room that you're in, or not like an adjacent room or whatever?
Depends on the type of aura, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can usually like pinpoint objects. Unless I think there is a spell that hides magical properties though from
Yeah.
detect magic.
Well, I mean, like, say there was something epically magic in the next room, maybe it would like leak out into this one.
Yeah, like radiation or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do I see any epic magic items nearby?
Guys, copium.
Yeah, there's
right.
magic in the room, but you can't identify its location. It's sort of just like it's around, but whatever it is, whatever its source it is, it's not like this one thing. It's sort of there's something here. It's
And the rings themselves aren't magical.
correct.
Okay. I tie the rope around my waist, Neal. I'm gonna jump up and try and climb across.
Read the priest version of the spell here. Caster has a 10% chance per level to determine the sphere of magic, but unlike the wizard version of the spell, the type of magic cannot be defined. You
Before
can't
I
get school, but you can get sphere, which is awkward because not all spells have spheres, and you don't get the sphere. That's fine. What were you gonna say, Nick?
I have the rope tied around my waist. I take one of my stones and we'll throw it into the liquid at the bottom of the trap.
Okay, it falls into the pit and lands in the liquid.
Does it fizzle as if it's acid or anything like that?
No, the liquid's
Okay.
already sitting on rock.
True. All right. I jump up and start trying to climb.
You're gonna monkey climb, like hand over hand, going forward across the side of the pit.
Whatever I judge to be easier. Maybe it's easier to go sort of facing the wall. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, either one is fine with me. The rope at this point won't stop you from a fall, just so we're clear.
I know. Well,
Oh.
hang on. I would say that Archie can hold it. If I fall in the first 1/3 of it, maybe it will.
Yeah, if
I
you
can
fall
hold
in the
on to
first
it.
10 feet, you might be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe you'll pull Archie in with you. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make me a dex check.
Do you want Dex or do you want climb walls?
Oh, if you have a climb wall, I will let you choose between the two of them.
I believe that they're both exactly the same.
Well then.
So it doesn't actually matter. Is there anything I can do to get a bonus to my climb walls check? Now might be a time for that moment spell.
Yeah, I can give you a moment if you want, if it'll help you with
Cool.
climbing.
Would that, I feel like that would
Good
work.
idea.
That would help, Neal, right? It's the best time to make the next step.
Well, when you do these things, you keep going, right? Pausing is a bad idea. Let me just read Moment again, because Moment's such a cool spell, but it also has like a little bit of use case.
Non-combat
deal-
actions can also benefit from the spell. A thief planning to climb a wall may wait to start her climb until the priest informs her that the moment is right. So it's actually in the example.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, and what gives me a +3, yeah?
Plus 4. Or 20%.
Okay, great. So I'll just do a Dex check with a +4.
Great. Don't roll one.
And I'm
You make it
across.
to the other side.
Uh,
You've got a
okay.
50-foot rope attached to your waist, so it comes out, well over there. The other side.
Yeah, so I will leave a bit of slack. I want it, and I'll tie it to the furthest most rung over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully they can do the side on the other side, and we'll make sure it's tight.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully the others can
Grab and
make it across.
hand over hand it. Yeah. I'll allow any player who wants to cross that with a strength or dexterity check at advantage. So roll twice, take the higher of the two rolls, because you've got a nice, easy platform across which
I'm
to go.
going.
Alright.
I'm going.
Easy done. Next person.
Ooh.
Easy peasy.
Ooh.
Close.
Nilrum.
Nice.
Not a problem.
Ooh.
Easy.
The party makes it across the pit.
Rogue skills. Let's go.
And there's a regular door here.
Okay, I move over for sail.
Yep, Sail opens it.
I will open the door.
It is another elbow-shaped passageway,
Which direction is the elbow going?
forward and left.
15 foot, 10 foot.
Yeah. Out to here and then out to there. With a
Yes, sir.
door at the end. Oh, actually,
With a door at the end.
the door at the end.
Okay. No, Neal, stop deleting.
No, I'm trying to move things to back layers so that players are over on top of them.
Okay.
I make it look pretty.
Me too.
Great job. Okay. Who is at this door? Which is another ordinary, normal door.
I would like to inspect the elbow corner room. I know these haven't been dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a quick glance. Anything abnormal about this one? Maybe a hole in this wall behind us.
No? Seems pretty normal to you.
Okay, I will gingerly open the door.
Would you all put yourselves in your marching order, please?
Yes, sir.
No, you're at the back. Archie. You're next. There we go.
There we go.
Perfectly normal door.
Perfectly normal door. Beyond this room is a 25-foot wide passageway. Extends 60 feet in. I hope we have some room on this map for 60 feet.
Somebody 60 feet me.
There you go.
Oh, perfect. Nice.
The door at the far end. And standing directly in front of the door, in this room that is much taller than all the other rooms, is a golem made out of stone.
Holy shit.
Or a statue that just happens to look like a golem. It's one of the two.
Oh.
9.5 feet tall.
Surprised I understand it. Archie
Can
can
I-
just punch it to death.
Got
Can I
away
do
well, Nick,
a
thousands of pounds.
intuition check? Will shape stone work on this?
Question. What
Uh,
does
Our
your
golem's
wisdom know?
immune. Could I just turn it into like a rat or something? Or crumble it into a random million pieces?
Stone. Any stone into a shape that suits purposes.
I was saying they can't see the map or something, Neal.
Here we go. Form an existing piece of stone into any shape that suits his purposes. For example, he can make a stone weapon, a special trapdoor, or a crude idol. By the same token, enables the spellcaster to shape a stone door, perhaps so as to escape an imprisonment, provided the volume of the stone is within the limits of the area of effect. While stone coffers can thus be formed, stone doors made, etc. The finesse of detail is not great. If the shape has moving parts, it's 30% chance they don't work. Material of this spell is soft clay that must be worked into roughly the desired shape and then touched when the stone spell is uttered. Casting time, 1 round. thought there was something in here that said was talked about worked stone not working. Is that not?
That was for soften earth and
Oh.
stone. I have both with me. That's why I
Oh.
asked about worked stone.
Great question.
Doesn't it? I don't want to metagame too much. Doesn't it say something on the stone golem about what spells affected?
That would probably not be something Sale would know. He's never encountered a stone golem.
No,
before.
I'm saying for you. I mean,
Yeah, for you, because I'm 100% casting stone shape on this, if this thing moves at all.
Okay. Well, let's get it ready then. So the casting time is 1 round, and I think that's because the material component is a soft clay that must be worked into roughly desired shape of the stone spell object. The area of effect is 9 cubic feet plus 1 cubic feet per level, so the stone golem is definitely well within the area of effect of a stone-shaped spell. Guess there's only one way to find out.
All right.
this is a dangerous fight. I think Archie, you should use your healing salve.
Is it moving? We haven't
No.
entered the room.
No one's entered the room.
Or-
Nothing is moving.
Do you have a healing salve, Archie?
Archie's been terrible about keeping up with having healing salve on him, so he has none of them. No.
Okay, I'll give you another one. We got 6.5 left.
Okay. How much does that heal me for?
9.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna spend some time thinking. I said,
Okay. I don't have many spells left, so I need to use everything that I have. Nick. Or John. Should I cast Web first? Then Lightning
No.
Bolt if it becomes alive, because we need the fire damage as well.
Oh, the damage from the web.
I would.
I mean, I don't know anything about golems, so I can't really advise. But I look at this and I struggle to see how our weapons are going to be able to damage it. Like, I know Archie Punch is strong, but this thing is literally a statue. Like,
Yeah. Can Archie's fists even affect a thing made out of rock?
It can't get it to us, right? It can't come in. It's too big. Correct or incorrect?
That seems to be reasonable. Like, it definitely couldn't walk like normal in this hallway, but maybe it could
Alright.
crawl awkwardly or reach an arm in or something.
Let's figure this out then.
it doesn't necessarily require combat, right? If we
Why
can,
not? Yeah.
like, what does the
Let's
golem
see if it's a
look like?
real thing first. I'll cast a web spell.
Okay. You create, I think it's 8 10 by 10 cubes of web.
Something like
Yeah. 1. Here, 1.
Can I stack them, or do they all have to be, you know?
they've got to
they
be
can't-
connected, right?
They've got to be connected,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I guess your last one is going to be like
8.
something like
Sure.
this. You know, just sort of half coming onto this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could web that entire area if you want.
I'll do it. Anything happen?
Nope. But white
One thing-
silky strands appear and connect everything together, filling the entire, room with webs.
I'll say to the party, I could attempt to enter the room and leave if we wanted to test it, if it only activates when someone is in the room. Can I inspect it? Is there any like distinguishing marks? Does it look like it's modeled after a king, or does it just look like a generic clay person type or a stone person?
It looks like a relatively specific person. It's got bare chest, masculine in form, sort of like a belt across it with not quite a skirt, sort of like a weird sashy skirty thingy that ties to the mid-thigh. A hat that comes off the top that's sort of square with a slanted part to it on the front, so it slides upwards and backwards. There are earrings, stone earrings that would hang from its ears, sandals, and like bindings around its shins and around its arms, like bracers and shin guards.
How tall is it?
10 feet tall.
So
Ceiling in here is like 15 feet tall.
my thought is that this might be like a wild guess. Maybe this has something to do with some old royal family, like the Farron, or maybe something like that. Maybe it would be given either a passcode or a person to recognize to pass through.
Maybe. But that's definitely not going to be us.
No, definitely not. So I don't know if I can explore those possibilities. The other thing is, I don't know,
Oh, go ahead.
like the wildest idea I had is if you have the family seal ring of this family, maybe this is related to them, but I don't think so.
Let me see if I still have that. I don't think I do.
What is the door on the other side, Neil? Can I get a look at it? Does it look like it's a hard to lift one or just a standard door?
Standard door.
You know, I wonder if we could just get around it. Like, Sail, maybe if you can't state the thing itself, maybe you could make a hole in the ground for it to fall in long enough for us to scoot around. Maybe we can find some other way to slow it, just get past it. Maybe we can lure it into the trap in the room behind us.
I think I could make a hole in the ground for it to fall into pretty easily.
And then we just scoot past.
Okay.
I mean, it would mean that we'd have
The
to
issue
deal
is
with
the
it.
web spell right now.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
We could burn the web, though, to get it moving.
Burn the web. Yep. Captain, while we're doing this, can you light your torch
Yeah,
so we have fire for the web?
I like my torch.
Yep.
Do
Use
we
your
want to just
stone
go,
shape.
do we? Yeah, I'll prep like a piece of sand or something in the shape of the thing that I want to make. Do we want to just go straight into the room, or do we want to test like the activation theory?
Can you make it fall down the hole now?
It's range touch. I have to touch it.
Oh.
I don't know how smart this thing is. You
Well,
might have to
then,
risk a hit from its sail.
Throw the torch, burn the web.
Well, you get your little model ready first, sail.
Yeah, I'll make a hole shape.
Okay, so the plan is sail goes up to it. You'll have to take a hit, touch the ground below it, drop it into the hole, and then we run past through the door and hope to fuck it can't follow, right?
Yeah, we need to burn
So
those
we're all
webs though.
We're all yeah, fine. That's the trigger, but we need to be on the same page here because there's not going to be any room for messing around here.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I will hand the torch forward to Sail for him to throw it into the room and burn the web.
Sure thing. I will toss. Wait, before I toss it, I say, are we tossing it and going straight in, or are we waiting to see what happens?
Tossing it and going straight in.
Okay, I'll toss the
Okay.
torch, and I will immediately enter the room.
You throw the torch. It sails through the air. You step into the room. The webs catch fire and begin to incinerate across the board as they flow over the creature. Its mouth moves. It speaks the words. Speak the password or die as the flames begin to lick up and around the golem. How much damage
Archie
do...
will immediately shout out, "The password!"
Incorrect. The golem calls out.
Fuck,
What
I
do
was
you
gonna
say
say
how
I was
much
gonna
it
say
does?
Rohi to see
It's a
if
good
it
try,
works.
actually.
All creatures within the flaming web suffer 2d4 points of damage from the flame.
There you go. This is a creature. It takes 2d4 points of damage. It is not immune to
That's
fire
weird.
somehow.
7.
And we will
And the plan
roll
goes on.
Initiative.
I just go at the end of the round. I
Could
think.
we have surprise and go first? Because we were kind of. We had a
I'm rushing
plan.
it.
Yeah. But it's fine.
I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
think quite surprise. The golem can't really be surprised.
He asked for
Well-
the password, you know? He's waiting.
Since I had
He was
time
ready.
to prepare the hole in the ground shape, like before combat.
Yeah, you can just roll a d10 for initiative then.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, you can remove the web.
Oh yeah, web is all gone.
Do you want a plus with that D10 or just a straight D10?
A flat d10, please.
2.
Yep, it's a 2.
Go, go, go.
I will run forward and crouch down to the ground and tap the floor, and making a pit. Now, should be just big enough for him to fall down to where he would be difficult to reach his arms out. Like, he would take him around to climb out, essentially, is what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, hold on, let me just make sure the initiative order is right, because I'm seeing weird stuff happen.
This is such a
Wait,
big
sorry.
brain
I'm
plan, by the way.
rolling. I'm rolling to move, not to attack.
Yeah, so just
Okay,
initiative
that's
3.
Yeah.
You're at 5. Archie.
Okay, so Sale rolled a 2 for initiative,
Yep.
right?
Milram got a 4, Archie should be 5, and I'm 12.
The monster is super slow. Okay. And what the area you can affect is 9 cubic feet plus 1 cubic foot per level. What level are you?
I'm level 7, so that's 16
16
cubic feet.
Okay. And you are first, so you skedaddle down the hall. Touch the ground.
Yeah, I'm trying to
And-
make a pit to make it fall as far down as I possibly could.
Right.
So
Now
that
you cannot create or remove stone. You just change the way it looks. So tell me exactly what you're doing. Give me dimensions. Give me all the juicy details.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think about this. So, if I'm changing, so is this the total amount of material I can move, or the area in which I can move stone? That's the question. Because if it's material, I can move a lot more stone. But if it's area, because it would technically include where I move the stone to, it would be a lot less stone.
Right.
You can move an existing piece of stone of that area into any shape. So I
Yeah,
think
but
you can.
For example, you couldn't turn a block that's 17 cubic feet into a quarter-inch diameter rod that extends for 10 miles. You couldn't just shoot a 10-mile piece of stone.
True.
There's got to be
Yes.
some limitations to it.
Sure.
Um,
let me draw you what I'd like to do then.
Mhm.
So, where's the? I can't find the pencil. Am I dumb? Probably.
Second one down, freehand in the circle.
So, let's say this is the floor right now, and the golem is standing on it. I want the floor to part like the Red Sea, but I want this stuff to move upwards like this. So,
Meaning,
what we should be left with is this in a circle around him, like a cone.
Oh, we're looking up. I see.
We're
So
looking.
yeah.
No, we're looking side on. From the top, it would look like a circle.
No, he means he wasn't sure where to look on the map.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So this blue line is the ground, yeah?
Mhm.
And so you're dropping the area out from underneath it and then piling it up on either side.
Yes.
That sounds like a really good use of the spell. Now,
Yep.
16 cubic feet is 4 by 4 by 1, or it's 2 by 2 by 4. So what are the dimensions that you're doing here? Did I get that math right? 16 cubic feet is
Sounds right. Yeah.
yeah.
Ideally, it would be a conical shape,
Mhm.
which will allow me to stretch things slightly further than I would otherwise
Yeah.
be able to.
Which
So
we get-
that makes the old trigonometry needs to be broken out there.
Oh yeah, true. You like the formula.
How we need
volume of cone is what, pi r squared, h over 4
2
or
over
something?
3 or something,
H
or
over 3?
4 over 3.
pi r squared with the height over 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So what's the radius of the monster? How much would I need to make him fall in? He'd be, if he's 9 feet tall, he's probably 5 feet wide, right?
No.
You're about 2 feet wide at the shoulder for 6 feet tall, so half again, so 3 feet wide at the shoulders.
hmm
Okay,
So,
So-
radius of 1.5.
radius of 1.5 and a height of 9 feet. Oh, that's 21 cubic meters. How much can I get? 17?
Don't forget you're piling up on the side as well, so you only actually need to get half of his height.
Right, he would actually be in a place of 18 feet tall at that point.
Yeah.
So i.e., we think 7?
Well, no, because
7?
it's not going to
you-
pile
you
up
just wanna
as high
solve
as
for
it is
H.
going to go down, right? Because you're adding the the volume gets larger as the cone gets bigger. But I think what we're doing here is good enough. You can create a pit into which the golem will fall. Yes, it will work. And it will happen immediately. The ground opens up underneath him. The golem will drop into it, taking d6 falling damage. Actually, it's not quite 10 feet. It's no falling damage. But the walls come up around him. His hands come out as he like moves forward, and you lose sight of him as he drops partway into the ground, and stone rises up and around.
So he would have fallen, I think, since I can move 16 feet, he would have fallen 7 feet.
Oh,
Sorry,
hold on.
16 cubic meters. And
Yeah, that's
then
fine.
it would be 7 feet to the bottom, and then probably like 5 or 6 feet above that in material again, roughly.
I think the material above is a little high, but it's good enough
Well,
that the golem will need to spend a round to get out, if it is possible for the golem to get out.
Okay, right, we figured it out.
Yeah. Nilrum.
Dr. Golem. Nilrum doesn't do math, so he just runs by when the golem's in there.
Yeah, same.
What'd you roll initiative for?
To run.
Just to run?
Yeah.
You just run
Yeah.
fucking past. Ah!
That was
Don't
the plan.
forget, Sail's
That was
still
the plan,
there.
yeah.
That was the plan. Doesn't
Yeah.
Sail still have some movement?
Yeah, I
Can
suppose.
Sail also get out? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all getting out, as well. Is the point. That's me, by
Great.
the way, so no room's first.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
I think Stone Golem is really slow, so I should be able to beat him on initiative next round anyway.
No, you've got movement, I think. You're good.
Yeah, you
Oh, okay.
can do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's really fucking slow. So the whole party runs to the end of the hallway. You open the door, and beyond is a
It's a
room.
wall.
No more hallways. No more anything else. It is just a 20 by 20 room.
Oh,
With-
Neal, well, it's
there's-
literally one square away.
I know this is so awkward. I
We
will.
can just drag the whole board
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do here.
Nice.
Just one
Nice shapes
more.
reality.
One more. There we go.
Oh, got a bit confused there.
Did we defeat the enemy?
Yeah, absolutely. 20 by 20, Neal?
20 by 20.
He's going to be coming through that door behind us very quick.
No, he's not.
He's fun.
He's chilling now, he said.
Depends on what his golemic programming is. If he's told to just guard that one room, we're done. He's done.
At the
We'll have to sleep in it until
far
tomorrow.
back end of the room is a 5-foot wide, like raised dais that you can hear water flowing in or through. Like it must drop down into something. Scattered on either side are some benches that have things. You see gold, ocean. You see all sorts of stuff as like your eyes glitter over the treasures that are held within here. But as you're taking stock of the loot that is to be found, you can hear the sound of the golem scraping against its exit, or against its thing, and it will take its turn to climb out of the pit, right down on its hands and knees, and like get itself halfway into this room, like crawling in, reaching out, and that's as far as it can get in this round. You now have the golem on its hands and knees,
I cast a
partway
spell.
in your room when we roll initiative for the next round.
Oh, no.
You have it at a pretty good advantageous position, though.
We can't hurt it, Neal.
Well, there might be stuff on the dais, so you gotta look around.
You mean you can't hurt it?
It's
I'm trying to
You're gonna need a magic weapon to kill a golem, no?
Well, let's roll
You're right.
initiative.
Find a weapon.
Okay.
I'm wondering if confusion works on golems. It's my last spell. That's useful here, I think. Yeah, fuck it.
Ooh, nice, you got confusion.
Actually, you know what? We're right on the hour as we're rolling into initiative for this, so why don't we take our last break right here and come back in with the golem battle on the other side of our break
All right.
soon.
What?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Okay,
Roll initiative.
We did.
we did.
Yes.
Captain John Winters. You are in this room. There's gold all over the place. Potions, scrolls, little books. There's this big-ass pool right behind you where, like, you can smell sulfur water flowing through it down below. Like, it's a moving, flowing channel here. It's a big hole, too, like, big enough that you could fit in. Benches.
Oh, yeah?
It's just, like, tons of stuff in this room. There's a big fucking tapestry hanging down, and as you're looking back towards the wall where you see the creature coming through, you can see written over the frame of the door are the words, "Life is change."
Interesting. Okay, my immediate plan is to look at all this stuff for a weapon that might be magical.
Great. Give me a perception check.
Well, I mean, how hard can it be to see a weapon?
Well, there's a lot of
I've got
stuff. Like, there's
8%.
books and boxes and chests.
okay.
Like, you. This is to see. I guess this is more of a luck check, honestly. Yeah, your eyes are quickly drawn to a box that sits in a place of honor on the back side of the wall. It's about, I don't know, 4.5 feet long, and it just sort of flips open. And as you flip it open, you can see there is a gorgeous rapier stretching out down the middle of it, but its blade is made of sandstone, and paired with it are 9 sandstone daggers.
Interesting.
We need to kill. Well, out of character, we need to kill ourselves with the sandstone daggers and jump down the well.
True.
Okay.
Anything you want to do with that, John?
Nick?
John. Nick
I
is
think he's
frozen in shock and disbelief. He doesn't know what to do. His eyes glitter at the treasure, and he just salivates staring at it. Sail, it's your turn.
I'm going to attempt to cast confusion on this golem, which probably doesn't have a mind that can be confused.
Quite right. Um, 99% sure mind affecting spells do not work against gold. Yes. They are immune to all forms of mind-based spells. Your confusion spell washes over it ineffectively.
Archie.
I gotta try punching everything at least once, Neal.
Bring it on.
I do have brass knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
Go for its face.
Your brass knuckles easily collide with the golem before you. It is not a critical hit, and your weapons do no damage to it. Sail. No, you've already taken a turn. The golem goes. It will reach, well, it doesn't actually reach into the room. It simply stares at John and casts slow upon him. John must make his saving throw or be slow for a long time. I will make his saving throw since he is not here. That is a failure. John slowed. Golem is still positioned where it is. One's gonna have to
Don't
move their
cast
heads
lightning
ever so
bolt?
slightly. Is that what you're doing this round?
That's what he did, yeah.
Holy shit. Nilrum.
30 damage.
Nilrum! It's such a small room!
He
Well.
can choose where it starts, right?
Yeah, but
So-
it's a golem.
Well, if I...
Couldn't he get it to shoot it through the golem into the other room?
Yeah, he's laying down. It should, should jump over him.
So a 5-foot wide bolt. They're like
Yeah, through him.
crotch shotting through the golem and out the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't look like they are immune to electricity. You will do 30 damage, which will blast little bits of rock off the golem in all different directions. Cracks form through its body. It lets out like a creak and groan of pain and suffering. Nick is restarting his router. We're in big trouble. Let's roll initiative.
Did Pichal hit him, and did he actually do damage, or
He did no damage. Yes, the
did
fist
no
struck
damage.
the golem, but ineffective.
Nick goes last, anyways. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
So,
I'm gonna take 15 seconds to think about my action here.
Can I try to grab one of the golem's arms to hold that arm down
Yes.
with like a grappling action or something?
Mm-hmm.
Golems might be like 20 strength. I don't know what their level. They might be crazy strong. But I mean, you could try it.
Excellent.
Um,
Archie, you go first with the 4 on initiative. So you want to, if I get this right, you want to wrestle the golem and pin it.
Yes.
Okay.
Just one of its arms, I feel like, right?
Well, it's a very large creature squeezing through a very small space. I don't think you even need to make an attack roll to attempt to touch it and grab onto it. So we're going to have you make an opposed strength check against the golem. But again, the golem's on all fours and in an awkward position squeezing through a door. So I'm going to give it disadvantage on its strength check.
Okay.
So roll well, and let's hope it rolls poorly. It will roll a 25. And yes, you grab one of those arms. You wrench the golem around. You stop it from using that arm. Now it's sort of just like propped up on one arm and holding this other one awkwardly as it tries to bash you. Sail, it's your turn.
I haven't actually rolled initiative because I had a question about my
Oh
action.
my god.
Sticks to snakes, do they just attack whatever's closest, or
Whatever
do I
you tell
choose
them
what
to.
they attack? Okay, then I will roll initiative for sticks to snakes, and I'm going very late in this turn.
you ready?
Okay. Nilrum,
My
it's
last
your turn.
magic missile. 15 damage.
Oh, that's a nice one.
That's a good one.
Actually, really good. The golem is almost dead, but not quite. Sail. You
Yes.
make snakes.
Did we get the spell? I have a bundle of like a thing of sticks that someone made for me. So for this exact moment, and I will cast Sticks to Snakes, which allows me to create 1d4 sticks plus 1 per level. So that's 8 to whatever. So I make 10 snakes, and I stick them upon this golem, and I'm going to try to get them to constrict it, and just like constrict. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if they can even try to do that, but
Snake type of breeder varied, multiple hit dice. Some have venom. Excellent. Unfortunately, these snakes are not magical weapons, and they will not bite. Their bites will have no effect. Their fangs will just like bounce or break off in contact with the golem's flesh. But they do swarm all over it, and they do not attack Archie in any way, shape, or form.
oh shit! Wait, can I get them to try and wrap around its head to block its sight?
Yeah, let's just
Because they
grab the
can
snake.
constrict.
2 hit dice, AC 14, movement rate 9, constricts for damage, or bites. Venomous is 5% per level. Oh, no, okay, so they do constrict by nature. That's their primary attack form. Yeah, so you get it to constrict around its face. Why don't you give me... what's an appropriate roll that scales well with level that would determine how effective your snakes are at grappling its face and blinding it? Is that like an attack roll against its AC?
It would probably be an attack roll based on the number of snakes I have. So like, just a d20 plus 7 snakes, or because each snake gives you like a slightly better chance.
It's true. All right, give me a d20 plus the number of snakes.
It's a 10. Although you could... But that seems kind of strong, actually. Like a plus 10 attack. I guess it is only a utility attack. I'm not like... It's just to like block its vision.
Yeah. Well, let's do it anyway. Sounds great. I like your rolls.
I'm going to get a 1 here. I can feel it. Oh, never mind.
Ooh. Yes, the snakes wrap round the golem, all over its face, blocking its eyes, binding its head. The golem takes its turn. It was going to try and smash someone with one of its fists. However, Archie has restrained it. So the very best thing it can do is spend its whole turn trying to break free of Archie. If it does break free, doesn't get an attack, it'll have to wait till next turn to do something. So Archie, you have guaranteed to prevent its attack this round. If it fails, then, it's just held next round automatically. So
Hell yeah.
here comes the golem's attack roll. Oh, it doesn't need an attack roll. I'm sorry. It needs a strength check. Go ahead and give me that strength check again, Archie. And the golem has disadvantage once more.
I'm not rolling well today.
It will roll a 30. It will break free of Archie and pull itself into the room and stand fully erect.
Me too.
I just meant stands up, guys, okay? Captain John, super slow, pulls out one of the rapiers, pulls out the rapier, pulls out one of the daggers, and in slow motion, while everything else is moving at normal speeds, he comes over, makes an attack against the golem. I think he fights at -4 to hit while slowed? Pretty sure.
Let me pull it up. I'll see if I can pull up a spell.
Thought you might just know off the top of your head.
No, that's a Nick spell.
Attack penalty of -4 based on public wiki.
That sounds right. Yep. All right, here we go,
Yep.
Captain John. Yes, I'll roll the. That's no roll.
Here's a question. It also says all dexterity combat bonuses are negated. Does that
Yes.
include his attack, bonus?
If you
And
had attack
AC?
bonuses from Dex, yes. AC bonuses, yes. All of them. All of them.
Jesus.
And also cuts the rate of attack to half.
Yeah, that spell
Yeah.
seems really good.
It's super broken.
Wait, does it?
Oh, wait a minute.
And attack at half their normal rates.
Okay, cool.
So if you have 3 attacks around, you get 1.5, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nick has 1.5 plus 1 for offhand is 2.5. We're just going to round it down to 2 and say he makes 1 attack per round. So he will stab with his rapier at -4 here. Whoosh, which is a 20, actually. A natural 19.
Does he crit?
He actually crits.
Good.
That's wild. Someone else roll me the damage. It is 2d6 plus 2.
10?
10. And he will run the creature through the face. And it will die. And it will
Fucking
crumble
sick.
to pieces on the ground.
Hell yeah.
And the golem will end.
Well done,
So
Nick.
easy.
Good job, Nick. Best attack roll I've ever seen you roll.
Mm.
And it wasn't even him. All right.
Do
This thing's dead. This is all our loot, I guess, yeah?
well. There's a well. It's big
Can
enough
we
to
look
jump
around
in.
first?
Yeah, there's gold. There's potions, scrolls, books, chests. There's all sorts of fun loot to be had here. However, this is very awkward because one of our players has dropped. So
I think we should.
You want to AFK for
Probably
like
wait.
5 minutes, see if he comes back?
whatever you
You
guys
could
wanna
probably just describe the room, but not actually advance the time of the game. I think that would be reasonable, and then we can fill Nick in on what the room looks like. 'Cause I think as long as we don't take actions, he's not left out of the game. If you get me, you could
do. Yeah, I just worry he might not return before our time is up today.
That
Well,
would be-
I'll ask him.
What's in the room? Is there mithril?
There's no mithril to be found, but there are these words: "Change is life," written over the doorway. And as you're looking at this sandstone rapier that he has pulled out of this box and is wielding in one hand, Sail, you get this like hair standing up on the back of your neck feeling. That sandstone looks just like the sandstone of your medallion. Looks just like the sandstone of the holy symbols that you've summoned for your
it's back.
friends.
Welcome back, Captain. We
Welcome back.
killed the golem, and the room is with the sandstone medallion, and we're kind of going through the room.
Nice work. How did we kill it?
You killed it.
You
killed
killed
it.
it.
Ran
yeah.
it through.
Yeah, you
I killed
critical it. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
what?
Sandstone rapier.
The rapier.
God damn,
Sail.
it didn't break.
This all reminds me of your stuff that you make. I point to his necklace.
Yeah, I'm going to. Are they rapiers or sandstone daggers? Did you say?
There's 1 rapier and 9 daggers, and they all look like they're a matched set.
I'm going to pick up the rapier and see if it feels. I'm going to take off my holy symbol and pick up the rapier.
I grabbed the books.
I'm going to. I don't have my holy symbol. I don't have any sandstone on me. I'm going to attempt to cast the bless spell.
What would you like to bless?
I'm going to bless myself, and I'm going to bless the party.
The party is blessed.
I think I just found a weapon I can use as a holy symbol, maybe.
That's pretty cool. But this is a +2 weapon if it was hurting that golem, I think.
Yeah, +2.
Okay, that's really,
Nice.
really cool.
I'll pick up the books.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. They're heavy. I don't know if you're going to have room for them. Like potions and scrolls you could probably tuck into your pockets, but books might not fit inside your robes.
Can I go through them? Any of them seem magical that I want?
None of them seem magical at first glance, although it's possible that there are like texts hidden within. Maybe there's just like a lot of preambles. The first thing that you pull off seems to be a history of the Kaiser family. The next thing you pull off is like a history of the early days of the Dardanelles. There's just like this seems to
I'll take
be
that one.
the secret library of the Kaiser family, locked away in their treasury, hidden just outside of their town, protected by magic runes, many traps, passwords, etc.
Okay.
Sandstone rapier.
Can I fit it in any of my jacket pockets? I assume not. Their books.
The books won't fit in the pockets, but the scrolls will. And the scrolls are mostly similar. They're mostly like ledgers of
Good.
family lines and histories. It's mostly information. There might be some magic scrolls in here, but you'd really need a lot of time and space to sort
I
it
take
out.
them all.
All right.
What? How many scrolls do you want me to put on my sheet?
30 scrolls, please.
30 scrolls from Kaiser Tomb.
Treasury?
Okay.
There's no bodies in here.
No.
Anything else of note
Yes.
besides gold?
There are 12 potions
Mm-hmm.
and held by a pendant, like right underneath that text, or held by a string just beneath that text, right over the doorway, is another chunk of sandstone that looks a lot like one of those chunks of sandstone that Zale has used in the
way.
past.
I will grab it and I'll hand it to whoever in the party wants it. I'll
What
take it.
is it? The object? Sorry.
It's a sandstone medallion, sort of like the one that you have right now, except it's wrapped in this like fine, silky ribbon that holds it
Nice.
and binds it. And also, there's sort of like some like etchings in it that are kind of hard to make out.
I would ask if I could have the sandstone
Looks
medallion.
like it's made for you.
Interesting. I
say.
wonder if Yeah, it does. I wonder
Trade.
how the
Offer.
Kaisers were connected to these items.
Maybe there's more to this than we thought. These look too familiar to be not related. And he
Definitely.
did lead us here, according to your friend.
For sure. And he did wipe out this entire island. Completely wiped out. Not even just deposed or cleaned out or took away the leadership. Maybe
That's true.
whatever the Kaisers were doing was something a little bit more threatening to the White Prince than we had considered.
John's holding the box of dagger and rapier, yeah?
Mhm.
Nolan will grab one, put it in his I guess pocket or extra dimensional space, wherever he can hold it, and say, I'm owed one of these.
A shrug. Yeah. We'll sort it all back when we get to the base anyway. We need to work out what all this does.
I think we're all owed a real win like this as I look around all the treasure.
Anything else in here of note that I need to grab
Does this
that Nilram
whole-
would care about?
Well, there's a bunch of gold. There's like 2,500 gold pieces.
Ooh. Nice.
A lot. It's actually very
I'm just
heavy.
gonna add that to the. I'm gonna add that to the party sheet now, Neil, and assume that we can get it back or not.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
It does weigh 50 pounds. There's 12 potions, so that's another 12 pounds. That's 62. And there's all these books that probably weigh another 40 pounds. All quite heavy.
My deep pockets allow me to hold up to 100 pounds.
Okay. So you can hold the gold in the potions and the scrolls. And then if you want the books, someone's going to have to carry a truckload of books.
I can carry a truckload of books.
Yeah. What is this? Can we jump down it?
Yeah.
It's water. It's a flowing channel of water that smells like sulfur.
Okay. I don't want to jump. If
Can I taste the water? Take a very small sip of it.
Yeah, it's kind of sulfury, gross water, but other than the sulfur within it, which sort of flows through a lot of the stuff here, that's why they call it Sulfur Island, seems clean and fine. I wouldn't drink too much, but it doesn't seem poisonous.
And you said it's big enough to jump down? I don't think we go down the hole. I think that's a red herring. I really want to jump down, but let's just leave a treasure.
we
I mean,
get all
no
this
one will
stuff across
stick
the
his
track?
head in. Is there anything down there of interest, or is it just water?
The water flows in a very strong direction. The current pulls your head as you push it in. Like, you're not going to fall in it or get stuck, but it would be very difficult to struggle against the flow of the water in the underground passageway. If you go in, you're on for a ride, and you have no idea where it goes.
Maybe with like a really high level water breathing and a lot of rope.
I mean, I have water breathing. We can come back tomorrow. I think we can probably re-enter.
Oh.
It's a library or a treasury. We're meant to come back.
Maybe it leads to the keep or something. I don't know.
Kind of what I was assuming. Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
not
we
worth
should-
risking any of our lives.
No, let's get all this stuff back.
Well,
It's
wait,
like,
hold on. When you're designing a level in a video game, you always put a quick exit at the end, right?
You do.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
So who wants to roll a new character?
Let's
At
just
the
get
start
all
of
this stuff
Brophy.
back to the town. We need to read these books.
Oh shit! Actually,
Maybe.
that's a good point. Someone just said, "Can I do an omen reading in that pool of water?" Or I guess the water is flowing too hard. Maybe
Flowing pretty quickly. You'd need a tide pool for that.
tide pool. Yeah, never mind. It was a dumb idea.
We
Can
leave.
we take some of the water into a little bowl or something and then do it?
Well, you can grab your stuff and you can head back out.
Yeah, I think we want to go through the books, and maybe I think there is probably more to out of character Rohi and the Kaiser family. So maybe the answers are in those books.
For
Yep.
sure.
We can back on out. You have successfully navigated all of these traps in the past.
This
There's
was one of the
only-
most hype episodes I've ever played. By the way, I really enjoyed this.
Nice.
Yep.
Good old classic dungeon crawl.
This one room right here. You come back to this room. You open this door. It's magically dark in this room, and you can't see anymore because you don't have a source of light, of non-magical light. Just a pitch black. How do you get through that room?
Use our
Well,
stick.
I, the player, remember that it's this. Okay,
Yeah,
but
so-
my character probably doesn't remember that.
How are you gonna do
we
it?
just stick through. No.
You just stick through?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. You can stick your way through. Fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
Fine.
Cool.
And out the other end you go. Outside are waiting Kalfu and Den Ted.
Alfu
Still in
looks
and waiting for you.
wide-eyed as as everyone starts to reappear. Wow. Sale, what did you find? What was in there?
We found wondrous and beautiful treasures. In fact, I'll turn to the party and say, I think Kalfu's finding of this cave may have earned him one of the items that we found in there. What do you guys think? I'll ask the party and see if they agree with me that he should get one of the daggers.
I think
John.
both of these people should get one of the daggers.
John shoots them a look. Hmm.
I was thinking one dagger, Neal Rum. We only have 9 of them, okay?
True.
You know, John gets close to Sale and whispers, "These might be throwing daggers. That might be why there's so many of them."
Oh. Perhaps we will
Um,
think upon a reward for these guys later then.
He says, John clears his breath and says, you have done well, Kalfu, and your friend here. We need some time to review what we found, but it's great treasure. Come back with us to the town, and Sale's right. You may get a reward.
Okay.
Captain, I would like to stay the night here. I should be able to dimension door directly back to that spot because it's in range just by visualizing.
You want to stay the night here, or in the? We can stay here for a bit longer now that we found this.
I mean, if we just stay the night, we go back down with water breathing spells. Go check out what's in the hole.
What if it's a dead end and we can't get back up?
Oh, water breathing plus rope, right? Water breathing lasts hours. We should theoretically be able to pull someone back up with 2 high strength characters.
Should be fine.
As long as we think it through, I don't want to get anyone stuck down there. But
Okay.
in theory, yeah. But I think we should first of all read the books. It might give us more information about what's down there. We might not need to risk the unknown.
Fine.
That's true.
Okay. We can go
Well,
back.
this sounds like a great place to wrap up for the day, and that way I can get you some information in between sessions, and you can read some of it and make up your minds about things. And oh, hey, all the cameras are back. Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to rejoin.
Well, this sounds like a nice ending spot for us today. So thank you everybody for watching Tides of Death. We will.
Can we
Neal.
can we do some spell rolling for Sylvie?
Yeah, we got time for that. Totally.
How's she doing? She level 2 through research yet or no?
Find her characters. Back in town. Background.
And Wiley does have a teaching proficiency. What's that one?
Sylvie. He is one of your henchmen. Oh.
Not Wiley, you know it.
Yeah. She was level 1. She hasn't been on any adventures
She has.
yet. I don't know if she can level up without adventuring at least a little bit. But if you
fine.
want, if she wants to learn more spells that are still of first level that she would have access to, then we can do that. But she
Okay.
hasn't leveled up yet.
Do we also want to do Patreon questions?
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm gonna do
That's
those.
a great idea.
I think it's been a session or 2 since we've managed to get those in.
Yeah. Okay, I will figure out spells, I guess, next time. I was only looking at the second. Let's get the Patreon questions in today. Go up a little bit.
By the way, guys, if you enjoy the show, make sure to check out the Patreon, patreon.com/tidesdeath. Help us fund the show.
For Archie, you've been training people to be better fighters, and some of them have become rather proficient. However, when you go raiding, it's just the four of you. Captain Winners almost got captured and has even died. Are they not ready to fight yet, or are they meant for another purpose?
It's a good question, actually. Yeah, Archie could bring along some of his apprentices for sure. Although it depends on who, right? But yeah.
Question for the players: are you worried if the White Prince invades your island, they will interrogate people to know where your base is and be able to? I don't. All of those people know where the base is, correct? I think they do. Yeah. Well.
Mhm.
Well,
No,
there'll be
it's
a few people just on the island who don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely a lot of them will know where the base is. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a risk, I would say.
Definitely.
But I think, we should just make a risk register. We want to highlight the probability and severity of all of our risks. There's bound to be some. We just need to know what they are and the best ways to mitigate them.
I think the other thing I would say is it's also a more interesting story if Koibu has like an invasion of our main base. Kind of like I go back to
And
XCOM.
XCOM.
XCOM, the XCOM gets invaded by the aliens, and you've got to like fight it out.
Yeah.
Next question. Question for Neal. Is there any moment in the campaign that stands out where one of the players particularly surprised you or caught you off guard?
Throwing the heated rapier into the gelatinous cube stands out as one of the most clever and genius maneuvers I've seen in a long time. Heat metal is like a really weird spell that is like maybe not that great, but if you throw it into a gelatinous cube who can't really eject it and then run away, like it'll just burn the gelatinous cube to death. It's super clever use of that spell. Unfortunately, you guys killed it before the heat metal could just burn it to death from the inside, but the principle was amazing.
Yeah, I was super proud of that one. I was like, this is it. We're all going to get eaten, but the dagger will, or the rapier will save us.
Yeah.
Fucking genius.
Really was.
Since
Like my
John's
proudest moment.
role... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Since John's role in the crew was predicated on his charisma, which was in turn powered by his zest for living, what value does John have now? He was never the best fighter in combat, and Resurrection only made him worse. As a viewer, it's going to be sad to see such a fun character nerfed, especially because of John's depression. It's hard to see how the crew maintains after this, so I'd love to hear the players' thoughts.
Well, I feel like definitely something of John's charisma has been lost, and his love for life, but I think he can still be a useful leader, and we've seen him get some new abilities. Maybe he can become more useful in combat to make up for the fact that he's less useful in a leadership role, and hopefully Nilrim can calm down and do better at some of the face-to-face talking that needs to be done in a situation where being a literal zombie man isn't the most appropriate.
One more. Oh, he also wanted to know, Neal, he said it was a low chance, but what was your thoughts on bringing John Winters back
Back what?
from like the dead?
What do you? I don't
Discord
understand the
having-
question.
Hold on,
Maybe-
Discord's having a major problem. He wants to know like what made you want to bring John back from the dead, if you can share it.
As a DM, I don't want anything. There is a story that is happening in the background, whether the players participated in it or not. But I have no personal dreams or goals or aspirations for my party. I don't really want them to succeed or fail. I don't really care what they do. All I really care about is why they do the things they do and how they do the things they do. And my party members have made dark pacts with an entity they don't fully understand. And they are willing to sacrifice their very lives to bring back John. And they are willing to do terrible things and give up everything for him. I don't really want to bring John back. I really prefer it if he died, but not really, but a little bit. This is just the way the game unfolded. It's not driven by me. It's driven. Those were player decisions that there was really only one answer to. We could have forced it to go another way, but you gotta follow the story. The players are
That was
willing
actually
to give
so
up their
perfect
lives.
there, because you don't know, Neal, but you were so roboty through that. So when you were giving the meat of the lore answer, we couldn't actually hear it. But as soon as you finished, it was perfect again. It was like
But the stream could.
The
something.
timing was
The
so
stream
good.
could.
The stream
sure?
could, because he's streaming it probably, yeah.
No, people are saying in the chat that it sounded roboty. So I don't. Oh no, it's only in Pokemon's chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
For his Discord. Okay, so everyone else could hear it. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, that was perfectly timed for me to like completely get mind wipe and miss everything for that.
Yeah.
Probably
exactly.
last question. How sure were you Nilrim was about to get crushed to death by that ceiling? I was cool if he did get actually crushed to death because it was a risky play by him just to jump in. But I think that's what he'd do. He's too smart for his own good. He thinks he knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, would have been the greatest TPK ever.
It was pretty close.
My instinct was to run into the room. So like, if I had ran in with that torch, we're all dead.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Well, I was close.
It was a literal TPK about to happen.
Well, that's it for this week. If you like the campaign, go to patreon.com/tied-to-death. We hit our goal of $400 per episode, so it's fully paid for and everything now.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, we finally did.
Well
Nice.
done.
It's most Wednesdays, right? Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
No, it's
Tuesdays.
usually Tuesdays at 4 p.m. EST. So keep tuning in. Thanks.
Thank you
And-
guys.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Cheers.